Hey everybody, welcome to the podcast. Just want to let you know about our sponsor. It's a movie called Sir John A. and the Curse of the Anti-Quenched. It's a fun movie. It stars John Dunsworth from Trailer Park Boys, Spenny from Kenny vs. Spenny, and the Diener from Fubar. You can check this out on iTunes, Amazon, or wherever you get your movies. Check out curseoftheantiquenched.com.
Tell me you built a time machine out of a DeLorean?
Welcome to the Raiders of the Lost Commentary podcast.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
The unofficial commentary for your favorite
Get to the chopper!
and not so favorite films.
The famous comedian Arnold Braunschweiger.
Starring your hosts Adam and Matt.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Start your movie in 3, 2, 1.
All right. This week's episode of Raiders of the Lost Commentary, we're watching Batman and Robin.
Joel Schumacher. Oh yeah. So this is the fourth in the series and the series killer
Right.
until 2005's what's it called? Batman Begins.
Right. Because, it started out good, and then it immediately, tanked off, you know?
I don't know. Funny enough, it's to me when I grew up, I never watched the first two.
No.
I only ever watched Forever and this one. So I have more fond memories of watching this one and Forever. Actually, Forever is probably my favorite Batman movie.
Really? Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer, I was a big Jim Carrey
Jim
fan too as a
Carrey,
kid,
yeah.
right? And then even as an adult, Tommy Lee Jones. I don't know. There's just a lot of things in that movie I like.
Yeah,
But it's definitely more kid friendly. And then there's this one that's 100% kid friendly.
Is it, though?
Oh yeah, this movie was essentially criticized for just wanting to sell toys.
Yeah.
On
it's the
set-
shot of the butts and the dicks.
Which apparently, people
like-
and the cod piece, people are saying since Joel Schumacher is gay,
Is he?
that this movie was it's showing it's trying to make Batman gay and all this kind of controversy, right?
Right. Okay. I
was
didn't know
a
that
big
was a
thing.
thing.
Yeah,
I
that was
mean,
a
they've
thing.
always been doing Adam West, Batman, Burt Ward have always done
That's what they're
gay
trying to
joke
do.
thing,
That's what
you know?
they're going for. And this was he was trying to do that.
It's the nipples. Why does it need nipples?
Well, apparently he was doing nipple because he wanted that ancient Greece kind of
I see.
statuette kind of perfect body kind of figure to it.
Okay.
And here we go, the brand new Batmobile, after
Batmobile.
the previous one got destroyed in the third one.
Yeah. I will say, okay, so set design and the world that Tim Burton created for these films.
Yeah, the original world.
I do quite like, I hate that line. He said, "Let's take the car."
Always remember that music, eh?
Yeah, John Glover. I actually think I saw him recently when I was at the Pensacon, the Comic-Con. He was on a panel, actually. I know he's on Smallville, I think, and he also does the voice of
Yeah.
of the Riddler in the animated series.
He plays Lex Luthor's dad.
Yeah.
In Smallville. Yeah. I mean, I know him from this until I saw Smallville. I was like, oh.
I don't know who he plays in this.
He
but-
plays the Doctor.
Oh, does he?
With Poison Ivy. Pretty much creates Poison Ivy. There's only
God damn it.
2 actors that made it through the whole series, which would be Michael Gow and Pat Hingle. I forget which one's which, but pretty much Commissioner Gordon and
Alfred.
are the only 2.
Whenever this Alfred guy comes up and gives them all this exposition of what they need to do,
It's not Alfred.
sorry,
that's Gordon, man.
Gordon, sorry.
Come on,
And
bro. Akiva Goldsman.
yeah,
He wrote a lot of stuff.
Who? It's the writer.
Akiva Goldsman.
What
yeah.
else did he write?
I've seen his name in multitude of movies when I was growing up. Let's see.
Has there ever been a Schumacher film that you've actually liked, sincerely liked, and consistently liked?
I think so.
But you can't think of it immediately, right?
Like Da Vinci Code, I Am Legend, A Beautiful Mind. So he's done some few writing stuff.
I think Arnold Schwarzenegger wrote all of his lines for this movie.
Apparently he's got like over like 20 some, maybe probably more than that, of like those
One-liners?
those Frost one-liners, freezing one-liners. Originally, it was supposed to be Patrick Stewart was in the running for Freeze, and then Goldsman
Dr.
was like,
Victor.
you know what? I feel like Mr. Freeze has to be kind of like chiseled in ice, so they went for like a more bigger
buff guy.
Yeah, so it's either Arnold or Stallone.
So, fucking Stallone would have been.
Classic.
Have you ever watched the old animated series?
I love that's kind of what they were going for as well. So Joel Schumacher commented that like he wanted this one to be more homage to the old school 60s Batman,
Okay.
as well as animated Batman, which actually some of the backstory for Mr. Freeze is
this.
it's based off of the TV show, the animated series.
The episode that won like an Emmy or something like that, right?
Oh, that bike.
That
is
bike
nuts.
coming in is so bad, eh?
Yeah.
I love how he saves the ice or the vase.
vase.
When that gun falls too, it's so bad.
All right. Joel Schumacher got Lost Boys, the last two.
Kill the
Batmans.
heroes.
Phone Booth. I like Phone Booth.
Really? You like? I don't know. I thought it was pretty bad. There's these like really bad like Casey Jones looking dudes coming in on ice skates too. Kill them! Kill the heroes! Yes! It's so fucking bad.
Okay, yeah. So pretty much the only movie I like from Joel Schumacher are pretty much the Batman movies, Phone Booth, and Falling Down.
Well, I never seen Falling Down.
It's with Michael Douglas, where just like it's just like a regular schmo blow and just starts like shooting people.
Oh, really?
Yeah, remember liking it when I was a kid. It's not a kid's movie, but you know.
It's weird that the source material for Batman, it's so good. It's so like there's so many good morality tales and just how Batman's this like, you know, unshakable hero and it's tested all the time and all that. And then somehow those ice skates coming out and somehow
How planned was that?
the movies managed to screw it up.
Like these, you mean?
Tim Burton screwed it up. Batman kills somebody. They changed.
Oh, he kills more than one person, man.
They changed the.
But did Batman stop? Like, I'm pretty sure original Batman killed people, like Bob Kane's like 1930s Batman.
You think so? I always thought
pretty
Batman.
sure. I thought he did.
He was above it.
That was made more later on that he didn't kill people.
But
And,
I mean, like the sort of more modern, accepted Batman storylines. You know, he can't skate for shit. George Clooney.
This is ER's George Clooney, really. Never.
I know. When you think of like when you cast Batman, you're essentially casting Bruce Wayne, right? And George Clooney is a good choice for Bruce Wayne.
Bruce Wayne.
You know, like, well,
The Ice Age. That's one of my favorite lines from that movie.
it's so bad.
I know.
So I had never watched the Batman movies until like 2000 and maybe.
So when you were an adult. pretty
Yeah,
much,
like
yeah.
8. Like I was in my 20s, and so I decided to watch them all in order. This is like Blockbuster was still open, so like I went and I one by one got like Batman 89, like the original.
Yeah. Returns.
Batman
Forever.
Returns, Forever, this one, and then the new Christopher Nolan one.
Right, begins.
And I had no idea who made what, and at the time, you know, I just went into them cold.
Yeah.
And the jump from this to Batman Begins is so huge. There is like a bit of a clear line, you know, from the Burton Batmans to the Schumacher Batmans. You know, you can kind of see this like escalating, or maybe not escalating, you know.
De-escalating.
Yeah, like declining rate in the you know, how seriously they took it, or
Sure,
you
sure.
know.
Yeah, it just got more kid friendly as the series came on. But I mean, this movie was straight up from the producers and the studio going, make us toys. Like, this was just to sell toys.
I do remember getting a lot of. I think it was Burger King had the toys, right?
I don't remember who had what. I remember having one of the Mr. Freeze henchman toys. Like, I remember getting that.
Like the dude on skates.
Yeah, he had like, he came in with like a cool armor and stuff and like everything. Like, this is not like a McDonald's kind of, like, this was like straight up like,
Oh, it's a real toy.
yeah, it was cool. Like, you had a freaking hockey stick and you like a bunch of like, you know,
It's big in the
accessories
Canadian
and
market.
shit. It was awesome.
But yeah, as bad as all the story is in this and then the acting and all that, the set design and the costumes and
Oh,
the overall look of
even
the film
the
is
effects,
really cool.
like visual effects for 1996, 97
Yeah.
is pretty darn good.
97 was when they gave us dinosaurs in Jurassic Park 2. So, I mean,
97?
yeah, 1996. That's when Jurassic Park came out. So.
1993 is when Jurassic Park
Oh,
came
was
out.
it?
Yeah.
Oh.
The second one might be 1997.
Die Mutter.
I don't know. I
Please.
and this was probably like the first time I've ever seen like Arnold too. Like when I watched
Really?
this movie, I watched this when I was a kid, right? Like,
Oh, man.
I very much enjoyed these as a kid. I only watched the other Batmans when I was, well, pretty much like kind of in my 20s, and was like, eh.
Yeah.
Like, it just didn't do the same thing as this did. Like, this was my kind of Batman, right?
Okay.
But yeah, I do remember Batman Begins. Just hearing about it, kind of the same, similar to yours, where I was just like, oh man, another Batman. Oh, it's like, okay, man, like I've kind of gotten tired of all these Batmans, right? And then I remember going downstairs one day, and my dad had rented Batman Begins. I was like, I'll pop it in, like let's watch it for the kind of like an, you know, morning movie as one does when, you know, he has nothing else to do. Mm-hmm. That's what I used to do. It's like any day that I'm not at school was like watching movies like all day.
Yeah. Same.
But yeah, and I watched, I was like, my God, like this is really dark.
It's
Like,
good.
I was like, is this rated R? Like, Jesus.
But like Nolan took a lot of elements of the best
Year
comics,
One.
Year One,
Yeah.
and all that.
Well, they were supposed to make because like as soon as this movie came out, like this is like your classic big budget series movies, right? Like as soon as the movie's in production, they're already planning to make the second one and the next one and the next one. So that's what happened with Forever. Like as they're making Forever, they like the dailies. Let's move on and go to Batman and Robin. Which, funny enough, this was actually supposed to be called Batman Forever, but as in
really?
forever.
Got it.
But then I don't know, they got switched around, and then the studio saw the dailies for this and liked it, so they immediately started like writing. And there's like a full on script for another Batman. I forget what it's called, Batman something else, as well as
Oh, that diamond catch was really bad.
as well as a Robin spinoff, like a
Nightwing
yeah,
sort of thing?
Robin Nightwing spinoff. Even though you kind of see his
that
Nightwing,
CGI is
he
bad.
does have a Nightwing outfit in this movie.
Does he, eh?
Yeah, at the end, if I remember correctly. Again, I watched this movie and like, Jesus, it's still not that bad though. Like
What do you mean? Like
the effects. Like,
No,
I'm
they're not-
watching it,
they're
like
not the
some of it, you're like,
worst.
oof. But like, I've seen movies like now that look just as bad as this. Like, so I mean, the movie still made money. It was like 100 and something budget, made like 250.
I assume it made money because it is for kids and
Yeah.
it was big at the time. You know?
It made money, just it didn't. This was the lowest rated, still is, I think, Batman ever made.
Really.
Yeah,
I assume so. Well,
yeah,
worse
so-
than the Adam West 19.
Well, I don't know about that one. But in terms of, like, I know that this one, it did well, just not as good as the other one. So they canceled the sequel, which also canceled. Which, I mean, it could have been so good. Is Tim Burton's Superman?
Right. So that's the death of Superman Lives.
Yeah, Superman with Nick Cage as Superman.
And,
This was the
original
Batman and Robin is the reason why that never happened.
Really?
Yeah.
I knew Kevin Smith wrote the first draft of that script, and there's a great documentary that goes over it. But yeah, I've heard Kevin Smith talk about that like a lot. But yeah, like they were supposed to make that.
Yeah, apparently this is the reason why it didn't. Because apparently, of course, everything, any source online is taken with a grain of salt. But apparently, because George Clooney was supposed to kind of cameo in it as Batman.
There is
its own
there is
universe,
a draft,
right?
yeah, like that's online, yeah. That when Superman dies in the script, like they made an animated movie very similar to it.
They
'cause,
did.
like, yeah,
because
because it's
Superman.
yeah, because it's essentially what happens is Superman dies.
What
It's,
Justice League should have been.
Yeah, it's what's his face from space comes. The guy they've put in the Justice League movie, but not the Justice League movie, in Batman v Superman, but they changed his origin story. The baddie they fight.
Steppenwolf.
No.
Darth side.
No, the other guy, the big monster guy from the.
Doomsday.
Doomsday. Doomsday is actually like an intelligent thing from another
Yeah.
planet in the comics. It comes, kills Superman. Batman in that script, it comes on as like, it's gonna be all okay. But then, yeah, Lex Luthor makes a clone of Superman.
Yeah. Speaking of Lex Luthor, this is Lex Luthor's dad. What's his name again?
John Glover.
John Glover.
Yeah, I was at this like rad Comic-Con, like one of my films was playing, and John Glover was on a panel with like Kevin Conroy and a few other people from the animated series.
Yeah, man, that series still lives up to today. A lot of the, I feel like DC, some of their best work is their animated films and TV shows.
They really are, you know, like,
and I'm not like too big into like I like live action superhero movies, and I've just recently kind of gotten into like the animated stuff. But I gotta say, something like Young Justice was just really.
I gotta watch
good.
that one still.
That's
yeah,
really good show.
But yeah, a lot of the Batman stuff, the Justice League stuff, the Frank
Superman
Miller,
even and the Superman animated show that was all part of the same kind of universe as Batman animated. Like that whole that thing, I'm pretty sure was followed each other, didn't it?
Yeah, I think so. And then obviously the Batman Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah,
Frank Miller
that was a good
series.
one. There he is.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
It's funny because when I saw him in real life, he's so shy and like introverted.
Really, eh?
Yeah.
He always plays like these bigger than life kind of.
Yeah, and well, he's the voice of the Riddler
Yeah, you mentioned that.
in the cartoon. So, I believe he's the voice of the Riddler in the games as well. The Arkham Knight,
That's neat. So here we have Mr. Bane's origins, which of course are completely different.
So
from
it is
the
Bane
actual comics.
in this, which is Bane. Oh man, I also saw that original mask from this movie. There's this guy had a museum at the Comic-Con, and they had the original mask.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I will say, Bane in the new movie, like the third Nolan movie, is the
You feel in charge.
He's accurate in terms of intelligence, because Bane is supposed to be one of the most intelligent and strongest.
Yeah, he figures out
villains.
who Batman
Yeah.
is.
And he breaks them, right? Like, but I find it like obviously in this he's just a dumb brute, but he looks the closest. Like in terms of Bane, this is the closest we've ever seen.
It's a
in
wrestler,
Bane.
right?
Yeah, it's some big dude, like 6'4" guy who like died not long after this movie of
Steroid overdose.
no, like a heart failure.
I think that's from
Something like that.
steroids.
I think it's just from pumping up too much.
Get pumped up.
You pumping all the time. He had like the biggest arms, I think, at the time, something like that. Like this guy's
Oh wow.
insane. Apparently, really nice.
Oh.
But yeah,
That's good to know.
this is like probably the closest we've gotten to what Bane's supposed to look like. This big, giant,
Hulking mess.
hulking luchador kind of man.
Yeah, because he is a detective, and the venom that he takes to make him stronger
Makes him bigger.
eventually makes him insane, though.
Does it?
Yeah, I think that's how the comic goes. Like he gets to the point where he forgets who Batman is, and he can't keep stuff straight, and he's just sort of like the Hulk, like a rage monster. But
From what I know, he was like the smartest and strongest villain that Batman's ever fought.
Batman
because of
had
the fact that he
faced.
figured it out who he was
Yeah.
and literally broke him.
yeah, and there's like a whole interesting like timeline then when there's the other Batman that takes over while Bruce
Yeah,
Wayne.
yeah.
It's Azrael
That's a
or
good
whatever.
one. Was that ever made into animated or?
I don't know. It might have been.
Yeah.
But then then that guy starts killing people, and then Batman has to come back and
I remember that.
defeat him.
I remember reading that comic. I think. Pretty sure.
It's pretty good. Yeah, just that storyline. Like again, the source material. If they just picked a handful of,
I know.
those
There's
good,
a lot. There's a lot of good stories out there.
It's with Superman too. There's a lot of good stuff too. And then if you interwove some of that, some of the Wonder Woman stuff, Green Lantern, like the Arrow's been on TV for a while, which is a pretty good show.
I've only started watching the first season. I like it.
Second season's probably my favorite.
I heard
it
Flash
goes
was
up
really good.
Flash is great, man. I love Flash. It's really well done.
Like again, their TV shows are.
They do well on TV.
Yeah,
there is an element of the Arrow and Flash, and
I think it's the episodic aspect.
Yeah.
Even Supergirl, I enjoyed Supergirl.
Yeah, I watched a bit of that too, and yeah, it's great.
I love the way he kills her. It's just an expression. I always remember that. This is so weird.
And with Therma's pretty like not like she's obviously good looking, but she was hot at the time, right? Like she was big.
Yeah. Well, this is like really close to how Catwoman started in Batman Returns.
Her thing.
Like she
the
finds a
cats-
boss doing something, and then the boss kills her.
I'm sensing a pattern here.
Or is that from Catwoman, or is that from Batman
No,
Returns?
that's another movie. Like,
That
what the
one's-
fuck happened with that?
I think that one was also kind of based on an original thing with a remake of because they were trying to do Year One after because Joel Schumacher wanted to go back to its deep roots, so he wanted to make either like
Is that
a
a
new
plant
one.
joke?
Victor Fries. I was a scientist, but also pumping up a lot of times.
I'm a cop, you idiot.
It's not a tumor.
Yeah, so they basically took the storyline from the animated series about him.
Wow.
Wow!
Falls into the
I
pit.
knew I shouldn't have put this pit back here.
Should have put the railing. Why is there never any railings in the DC universe? That's what happened to the Joker.
It's true. How does he have all these cameras that perfectly film all this stuff in his
any movie. Wow. George Clooney looked old even back in like 1990s.
Yeah, he's had that. He's looked the same for a long time.
Like his hair looks like he's already got some gray in it. So ooh.
Alfred's just
How old
grabbing-
is freaking like when did his career start? I know he got kind of like he started with like ER and then this movie kind of funny enough he doesn't like Batman this movie but and yet you know he commends it from being like one of those movies that started his you know Hollywood fame. Apparently if you tell him that you don't like this movie he'll pay you back for the movie ticket.
Really?
Apparently. Wow.
Isn't it weird that Chris O'Donnell and the guy who plays Arrow look exactly the same?
A little bit, eh? I never noticed that.
I honestly thought when they started making Stephen
just
Amell,
stretches his face just a slight tidbit.
like when I started watching Arrow, I honestly was like, did Chris O'Donnell change his name to Stephen Amell because it looks like?
I will say, man, Stephen Amell is pretty badass. Like,
Yeah, man, he can
stuff
actually
he does and
do
stuff,
all
it's
this.
insane.
Did you ever see him on that Ninja Warrior show?
No.
Man, he just killed it. He went through the entire thing. Like he can actually do all these, you know,
Yeah, he's like
Oliver Queen style.
That's what I like when an actor can literally do what the
character
can do. It's kind of like Tom Cruise.
He's
And,
actually
like,
a secret agent.
Exactly, he is.
He takes time out of his-
There's no denying one is the other. They're both the same.
Yeah.
Like Amell is, you know,
He's actually Oliver Queen.
it's crazy, but it adds that extra level of like realism, right? Because the guy can do his backflips and stuff, and you can literally see him doing it. It's not like, oh, a backflip, and then like cut to another scene, cut to another shot where you show the actor's face now.
Right. I do remember the storyline with Alfred in this one being pretty sad.
Yeah, he's if I remember
Does he
correctly,
die?
I don't remember. I
or
don't.
is it like
I
we
don't
think he's gonna
think
die?
so. I think it has everything to do. He's got the same kind of disease that Victor Freeze's wife has.
Oh, and that's how they
Something
tie it
like
in.
that. I think. I could be very, very wrong. I don't know much about Poison Ivy's history, like backstory, to know if this is accurate or not.
Yeah, I actually don't know a ton about. I know she is like a doctor.
Was she?
Yeah, and she is super smart, and she kind of has her own what do you call it? Like she has her own motivations. She's not like good. She's more neutral a lot of the time, like
Chaotic
good or bad.
neutral.
Yeah, essentially, right? So like she does whatever's
just out
best
for
for her.
herself, yeah.
So, but I don't know. Like anytime you see her in the comics a lot, she ends up like just being sort of a side thing. But there's a lot of stuff with like her and Harley Quinn going on adventures together in some of the comics. you
Yeah.
know.
Well, all the DC like
the
villain and
heroines.
superheroes and stuff. Isn't there supposed to be like a TV show or new movie?
Suicide
that's-
Squad type thing.
Yeah, but like with like Poison Ivy, your Harley Quinn, your even Batgirl kind of.
Oh, I know Batgirl is in a show coming out soon. I don't know when. I've
Yeah.
heard that.
I know there's like an animated like kind of little girls type of like cartoon that stars like the
all of
DC.
them.
Yeah, you got your Harley Quinn, your all that. I don't know. It feels weird to me, but hey,
What?
they're just trying to find different ways to sell.
It's like, I wonder what the direction was for all this, because like I don't think any of them read any of the comics or source material, right?
Well, what I read that Joel Schumacher on set would just yell out like, "Remember that, like, do it like it's a cartoon."
Okay.
So that's why there's probably a lot of like, kind of that overacting kind of.
So,
Come on, Bane, baby.
6 years later, then she goes and makes Kill Bill.
6 years, eh?
Isn't that crazy?
What did she do before that? Was she a
Pulp
big star?
Fiction.
Pulp Fiction, okay.
I don't know what year that was, but
1995, I think it's the same year as Forrest Gump.
yeah, eh?
I remember things.
94, yeah.
94, okay, my bad.
But yeah.
I'm Mr. Snow, I'm Mr. something.
This is so weird. I've
He's just
completely
making
forgot
them
about
sing.
this.
And that's a straight up. Those are his real cigars that he just painted white so he can smoke them while he's. Because it technically doesn't make sense, right? Like Mr. Freeze shouldn't be smoking because like you're like. I mean, you've ever smoked, right? You can feel that burning inside your throat.
Yeah. Arnold, we're not going to be able to smoke in the
Oh,
scene.
Vivica A. Fox.
Is that her? Yeah.
Yeah. I saw the credit, and yeah, it's kind of like Drew Barrymore as one of Two-Face's girlfriends in Batman Forever.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, exactly.
But she was still Drew Barrymore at that point. She was famous from when she was a kid.
Yeah, but I mean, she kind of you never see the in between, right? You only see Drew
Right.
Barrymore kid, Drew Barrymore adult, but there's a reason for that.
They have like all these diamonds, eh? So he needs the diamonds to power
Yeah, that's
the
why he
suit.
steals them. Yeah, apparently I forget who brought him the cigars, but just like he used to like, I forget the story.
Probably Jesse Ventura.
But that's right. Is Jesse Ventura supposed to be in this too?
Was he?
Apparently, this is like the third or fourth movie that him and Jesse Ventura are in a movie together.
Huh.
I could be wrong. Again, this is all stuff I read around and slightly know from being a kid. But yeah, just let me paint my cigars white so I can put them in the movie. All right.
The guy's hockey gloves he wears too, they're like they look like they're painted that day, like quickly, like 5 minutes before they,
He looks extremely cold, like too cold. Like
it looks like they're wearing the same stuff that they wore on Hoth, the Rebels wore.
Switch Justice, like there's got to be an edit somewhere where this is like just an extra scene in the Hoth.
Yeah.
We'll be together soon. Don't worry.
I hope you don't mind my face. It's really blue.
Just like you. Ha ha ha, because you're dead.
You're dead. Yeah. So the cartoon did that whole thing a lot better, I think, right? But
I don't remember the episode again. I was yes,
Clueless.
Barbara Gordon, aka not Gordon.
did they change her name in this?
Yeah, she's not
not Barbara
supposed.
Gordon?
She's not supposed to be the commissioner's daughter anymore, like she is in the comics. Of course, I didn't know that till much later. But she's Alfred's niece in this.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because, in the comics, Batgirl is Barbara Gordon,
Yeah.
which is, what's this, Gordon's...
Commissioner Gordon's daughter,
Dick
and then
Gordon's-
she gets paralyzed. I forget how. I think
It's
it's
the Killing
Joker.
Joke. Yeah, the Joker paralyzes her.
And then she becomes the Oracle.
Yeah, which...
Again, there's some. This is the first live action and only live action iteration of Batgirl.
This is like when she was like famous off Clueless, right? Like that movie.
Was this before or after Clueless? I think this was right after Clueless.
Yeah, I think she was like big after that.
I know there was like some controversy because like news got a hold that she gained a little bit of weight and couldn't fit in her bat suit, so there was a lot of fat shaming, which is really really bad.
It's bad.
Yeah,
I mean she's still she's still
I-
like wicked hot in this.
I
so.
will say Joel Schumacher may not make the best movies, but from what I read, like seems like a really nice guy.
He seems like a nice guy.
Yeah. He seems
Why?
like just like, when that whole controversy happened, he was like all over like the media going like, are you guys why are you doing that kind of shit, right? Just like
Yeah.
backing her up, always like backing that stuff, or always like apologizing in respects. It's like, listen, I know I've disappointed you guys in this movie. Like, I don't know. There's things from what I've read seems to be like a nice dude that's just kind of stuck in a bad situation, or maybe is a little too much of a pushover when it comes to studios and stuff.
Okay.
But he seems like a nice dude.
He's just like a company man. Like they know, okay, if we hire Schumacher, he's not gonna put up a fight on.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know.
And then
Let's see. Clueless was 1995. Yeah, so this is like a year and a half after
Yeah, it's like
Clueless. So yeah, Clueless, and then right after, you got your Batman and Robin.
his career just blew up. And then I don't know if she did anything after that though.
Well, let's see how many careers didn't get ruined from this movie. It's just Clooney and Arnold.
Yeah, Arnold was fine before that though. Right?
He was fine, and like even though he's like, I will never play a bad guy again. After he did T2, which of course he just ended up playing more bad guys anyways. But
He didn't want to play a bad guy after that.
yeah, that
eh?
was after T2. He had said that he doesn't want to play villains anymore, and then played this. I mean, I feel like the movie there's a lot of things in this movie that just would make it suck even more. The fact that you've got Mr. Freeze played by Arnold is definitely a gem for this movie. Like this movie shines better in that way.
Because it's funny.
Exactly, it's just fun.
Like
That looks like Michael Scott.
doesn't I didn't see.
that look like why am I forgetting his actual name? Oh my god, he dated Peggy Carter.
From Agent Carter.
Yep.
Love Peg.
Oh yes, let me talk to you about your grandmother.
Oh, that's the grandmother.
Pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah. The life of Butler must be very sad. Because you're like live this whole life in servitude, you know?
Well, too, think about it this way. When it comes to Alfred, he raised Bruce, but like technically he's still a servant of Bruce.
Yeah, you still gotta like
He's
wash
like a
that
father
dude's
figure,
underwear.
and I mean, I guess he's kind of like just a really a really good mother, I guess. Like,
Yeah, I guess.
like a really good parent that takes care of like.
Oh yeah, she races.
She's a bicycle racer. Look out, she's a badass.
That was the first
we
draft.
got a badass over here.
Look out! She's gonna steal one of the cars, isn't
Motorcycles.
she? Oh, the motorcycle. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
Brings up that whole scene with.
That's for sure not her. That's like clearly a stunt double.
But just the underworld in this movie is just I've always found hilarious with the neon and stuff like it's the weird alt universe dystopian of the 80s
Yeah.
future. You know what I mean? Like
I know what you mean.
all those 80s movies, futuristic, like that's what Gotham is.
Yeah. I do love, the design of Gotham, and I wish they would go back to some of that in the films. I know they've tried, like the Nolan things, tried to make some of the realism, like, you know, having
It's
it.
just a bad place.
Yeah, well, having it film in, you know, what it was like, not Chicago, it was Pittsburgh or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I do love the look of all those statues, this sort of gothic, you know, world.
Well, it took what Tim Burton did and just like turned it up to 11.
Yeah.
It went a little too far, I found.
But they could do some of these cool style buildings again. I think they really need to rethink a lot of.
Well, wait out for the Batman that's currently in development.
Was it
now.
Matt, the Planet of the Apes guy, right?
Matt Reeves?
Matt Reeves is supposed to be doing it.
I heard it wasn't him anymore.
Oh,
like
no?
people keep
Maybe.
like going in and out, right? Dropping in and out.
And then they keep making. They're gonna keep making these Joker villain stories. Which,
Oh yeah, I heard about that. I don't know how I feel about his new look. With what's his face? Phoenix? Joaquin?
Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker.
Yeah.
Which could be work. Like, he could be a good Joker, but it's like, is it gonna
Did
be?
you see his look or what he's supposed to look like?
Yeah, I mean, it looks okay.
I don't know.
It can't be any worse than.
Suicide Squad?
Yeah. I always love how just Bruce Wayne has supermodels just hanging.
He always has a
off
new
him.
girl. Like, I think she's the less prominent one out of the other ones. Like, because you had Nicole Kidman in Forever.
No, but I just mean, like, he just has like whores, like unlimited whores.
Excuse me. He's always dating someone new. Okay.
No, but I mean, like, there is just like really good looking women always hanging off his arms, and you know, like the chicks he goes swimming with in that.
Oh, you're talking about the Begins?
Is it Begins or it's Dark Knight?
No, it's Begins. Pretty sure it's Begins.
What is Poison Ivy's motivation in this movie? Like, what's she trying to do? Essentially?
Well, because of the fact that she saw that the lab was kind of funded by Wayne Enterprises, she's going after him.
Oh, okay.
Something like that. But I feel like I'm pretty sure it's like he wasn't aware of the experiments. There's something
Usually
similar to that when it comes to Batman Forever, with the Riddler's story.
Yeah, like he doesn't know about the. What is it? He doesn't know about the brain.
Yeah, something like that.
The brain stealing stuff. Poison Ivy is also kind of an environmentalist too.
No, that's straight up what she is. So like that's she's there for the betterment of the Earth, right?
It is sort of weird that she's painted as a villain for trying to make the the planet better.
Well, because she's killing. She's literally going, let the plants live and kill all the humans.
Wow.
Is her.
One or two humans.
More like all of them. You will all die when the roses take over. War of the Roses.
It's like there is like a commonality with Poison Ivy and that M. Night Shyamalan movie that's really terrible.
The Happening?
The Happening.
God.
What? No.
No, ma'am. No.
No.
Are you here to kill me?
What?
No, ma'am.
No.
No. I've only seen that movie once, and I don't remember enjoying it. So
No, eh?
And I think it's like up to date, still M. Night Shyamalan's. I don't know how to say it properly, but M. Night's only R-rated movie.
Really?
Yeah, every other movie that he's ever made was PG-13.
That makes sense. They are just tame sort of horror.
They are and they aren't. Like even like you think like The Sixth Sense, Unbreakable, The Village. Like even his horror movies, like Devil, I'm pretty sure still like PG-13.
Yeah, but nobody like gets naked and
True. Even like I
not a
saw
lot of
this movie,
swearing.
his recent one, The Visit, and there's like an old lady getting naked, and there's like that movie's pretty like towards the R aspect to it. And it's still kind
13?
of PG-13. Yeah.
Huh. I wonder how that works. Who decides that shit?
The
Yes,
MPAA.
we cake.
The
Oh,
MPAA,
no, I'm sad.
Look at
I'm
my eyes.
sad. These TVs, like,
I mean, they wouldn't work in Frozen like that.
no, they would never work. But again, I sort of like that weird commitment to this strange world. You know. And he just freezes this guy. I don't want to work for you. You freeze people all the time.
That's the problem with being a villain. Like, if you want to be a good villain, you can't constantly be killing your workers.
Do you think there's like a certain amount of acceptable worker deaths that you have to maintain power dynamic?
You have to maintain power dynamic, but you can't be killing off all the dudes because, well, you don't want to create mutiny, right?
No, but
that's the worst thing. Like, if
they need to respect you.
You got to find a way to keep people down without them knowing and keep them happy, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Here's the other thing is you have to pay them well. Like, people around you have to be paid well so that they can't be bought.
Exactly.
There are definitely ways to be a supervillain or just even a bad guy and get away with it.
Look at all these, like, this is all like a bigature like model. Like, it looks awesome. I love the way Gotham looks in these.
You love the Gotham style in these movies. To me, it was always too weird. Like, that's one of the things I didn't like that kind of scary to me was that goth aspect to it when I was a kid.
Yeah, that frightened you?
Yeah, it kind of scared me a bit. Yeah, but it
growing up
that,
in the country, maybe I could see why.
Well, I never liked the Tim Burton styles of anything, right? Like, it always kind of creeped me out.
Even like Ed Scissorhands and Beetlejuice,
yeah, especially. Yeah, I mean, I like Beetlejuice, but like that's more now.
Right.
It just kind of, I don't know. It always had that spooky kind of feel to it. Even like the stop motion, I couldn't do it. It was just too creepy.
Yeah.
But even this world, even though it's kind of based off the Tim Burton kind of style.
It's so weird that Batman would come out like.
Yeah, I know, right? It's like, oh yeah, I'm just here to just for this gala. That's really weird, and then
it is very
those
strange.
Giant freaking. Oh yeah, I forgot
I
about
thought
the apes.
That's where he comes out, right?
Yeah, it's Bane and Poison Ivy in those suits. I'm pretty sure.
You know the movie Kick-Ass?
Yeah.
I think the best part of Kick-Ass for me was when Nicolas Cage was putting on the eye makeup, because like you never ever see them put the eye makeup on, but they clearly wearing eye makeup underneath.
Oh yeah, for sure, 100%. Woo, $30,000.
Look at that guy in the background. He's so 90s. Are they betting on diamonds or women?
I think both.
That laugh.
Yes, the Poison Ivy stripping scene for kids.
That monkey suit.
It's just creepy.
It is really
Although,
creepy.
I mean, is it maybe kind of a joke on I forget what the name of the Batman, the DC villain is, but it's a giant like ape, like intelligent ape, and he's
Grodd.
Is it Grodd? Maybe it's a joke on that.
No, because Grodd is like was this person. It was he's a scientist.
But isn't it like a giant like?
Yeah, and then
ape?
his brain gets
Giant
put
gorilla?
in the gorilla, but the gorilla has telepathic powers.
Yeah, I don't know that.
Yeah, they have him in the Flash series. Actually, they do a pretty good job.
Really?
The CG is pretty good, and how they pull it off. It's actually really great. I love when they get enchanted. They're like,
Hey, everyone's turned on right now. That's pretty much what it is. That's what like pheromones are all all about, right?
Yeah,
like,
that's
just
true.
turning everyone on.
She just gave everybody Molly.
That's pretty much her classic Poison Ivy outfit.
It's true.
It's like, oh, she's so hot.
Ooh. It's so weird. Oh, it's a good thing those people were there to catch me.
Yeah, apparently this pheromone starts off apparently it centers your brain for
Look how jacked that dude
choreography.
is. There's all these dudes like laying down for her. The floor works just as good though, you know?
Yeah, you don't have to be stepping on glistening men.
It's true.
But I mean, hey, whatever works, right? It's just a hell of an entrance. Hell of an entrance.
The I don't know if I like the way the Batman cowl looks in this film.
No?
The other thing, like, George Clooney didn't work out at all for this film. It looks like it, like, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't look like he can do a push-up.
Well, let's be honest. I don't think any person in these Batmans ever looked like. I never saw Michael Keaton as like a buff guy. In
No,
shape.
I guess not, eh?
Like Michael Keaton to me, like a lot of people like Michael Keaton Batman. To me, he just looks weird. Like I don't know. It's not. I like Michael Keaton, but I don't see him as Batman.
Do you think he could come back though now, like, and do like a Dark Knight Returns?
He probably could, but he'd do it just like literally because of like his fandom of being the original kind of Batman, right?
Because like him and Spider-Man, you know, you can sort of believe him as somebody that can handle himself now.
Oh, I definitely like. I thought he was great as Vulture.
Vulture is supposed to be an older man too.
Yeah, like really older than that though. I mean, he played Birdman, which is pretty much just kind of like playing on a joke of him being Batman.
Essentially, yeah. Which is a very meta film. Like,
Yeah, it was.
$100,000.
So I guess he is betting on
Women.
her. I don't. Yeah.
4 million.
See,
Batman.
like, it's straight
I'm
up.
gonna borrow it from Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. That's the other thing is like, how do you? Oh yeah.
Batman's got a black visa.
And if you look at the date, it says forever. Bye bye, boys.
Oh no, she got frozen.
Frozen carbonite.
Let it go. Let it go.
I'm gonna freeze
Chill.
you all the time. Let it go.
They all just look like they're wrapped in plastic, you know, like they're toys. The toy metaphor is going deep.
Yeah, man. This was all to sell toys. Every character looks like an action figure. Everything just looks so toyerific.
Toyerific.
See, like that outfit right there. That's his Nightwing outfit. I'm
Is
pretty
it?
sure. Well, he's wearing a black outfit.
But Nightwing more has the blue vibe to it.
But doesn't he have that the red aspect to it? That's pretty Nightwingy. That's a very Nightwing kind of.
Because like Nightwing ends up using like sticks too, right?
It does, yeah.
So it would have been interesting if they would have kept going with these films and expanded into having Superman.
It's like if you look at that, like
yeah,
it just looks like that, except minus the blue. It's red.
there is a weird obsession with all like the characters in this having definable like boob parts. Like Mr. Freeze, he has boob parts to his shit.
Again, you could see why like there was controversy about like, oh, this gay director is like, you know, trying to gayify our children.
Gayify. That's how it works.
I mean, I don't like watching this. It never dawned on me, right? Like, and I get his reasoning for it, right? Of just like, and you're right. Like even it looks like nipples, but I don't think it was anything pertaining to that. I think it just has. You know, it's the classic, you know, your perfect bodies, kind of Greek figures. Makes
Right.
sense to me.
I
Like,
never knew he was gay. I never thought about it. Like it doesn't affect me. But
no, me neither. But apparently, again, this is what I read on.
I guess in the 90s
there was a thing about that.
some controversy, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, that just sucks for him, I guess, right? Like,
Yeah,
he's just like, well, that was not my intention. Like, there was other people in charge of that too, you know, guys.
yeah, I know it's not like 100% hit. It is just there is just weird stuff with some of the suit design, but
Like the bat nipples.
the bat nipples,
Never leave the bat cave without them.
it's true. It's funny that like the contour design of it, you know what I mean? It's like compensating for them actually not being jacked.
There's that too, but that's also like superhero aspect, right? Like,
Yeah.
even like look at the comic books, and you can see like especially original Batman. It didn't look like he was wearing armor. It was more like wearing
Like a leotard almost.
Yeah, like it's just like a tight suit that, you know, accentuated his figures. So it's kind of a version of that.
True.
Although
See?
the
Look at these things. The design of it is really cool.
it's very bizarre. Imagine a city that's like that. Like
I
just
know.
these gigantic statuettes.
It is neat. Like they could again, like I'm saying, like if they, I know there's all this push, like, you know, like to do something more realistic for Batman, like, oh, make it realistic. But Marvel's shown us, like, you can go into the fantasy realm if you just do it well
Yeah,
enough.
exactly. There is some aspects of it's like a mixture of both, right? You don't have to make it so.
That looks really bad. The cars going down the body.
That's another thing. His Batmobile is just a one-seater.
Yeah, it's funny.
It's always
eh?
been a two-seater.
I can make it.
I can make it.
I can make
You
it.
can't. I love how he's like yelling back, like he can hear him. It's like clearly he's wearing like a piece or something. He's not
Yeah.
yelling into the car. His old red bird.
Oh no.
See, here's the other thing too. Like, how dumb are people to not like figure out that he is Bruce Wayne? It's like,
I
oh
know,
no,
right?
Bruce Wayne just like adopted this young kid.
Yeah, it is sort of.
And then it's like, oh
weird.
yeah, and look, Batman just got a new like sidekick that looks exactly the same, except like he's just wearing a slight little mask thing. DC just, I feel like, just doesn't believe in like people are just idiots. Like, look at Superman, right? Like,
Superman's supposed to be like, oh, like he has some type of trick that, you know.
yeah.
There is a lot of like the heroes in the DC universe that their disguises aren't that great.
I'm trying to think. All right, let's compare it to like Marvel.
But Marvel's they're open about who they are. Like
Well,
Tony Stark.
Tony Stark is.
Does anybody have-
Spider-Man? He could be anybody.
Yeah, Spider-Man's still got the secret identity. In the comics during Civil War, though,
Yeah,
Spider-Man
really,
comes out.
Yeah, he does. And he almost dies because of it.
Aunt May dies.
Does she? I don't
Yeah,
remember
Kingpin puts a hit on her.
that. But I know Spider-Man gets his ass kicked, and then Punisher's the one who saves him. I remember
Is
that
it?
aspect of it. Yeah.
Okay, I don't. Yeah, I haven't read all the editions.
I'm just trying to think, like, who else has a hidden identity
In the Marvel?
in the Marvel universe?
I guess Black Widow a bit.
Yes and no. She's just not known, right? Like, no one.
Yeah, she's sort of like a shadow agent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
You know, and like, no one's really hiding their identity in
no,
that.
Thor. I don't know.
Apart from Spider-Man, he's the only one that can really like find as like someone who's trying to hide their identity. And like no
well,
one really
like,
just wears like a small little
Daredevil,
thing.
Matt Murdock hides his identity.
But again, he's wearing kind of almost a full mask.
Yeah, Luke Cage. I guess he's got his identity out.
But I
Well,
mean,
that
he doesn't
CD
wear a
ROM.
mask either, right?
That CD-ROM is so strange.
Welcome to the future, yet the past.
Oh.
When anything fit on a floppy disk that could like destroy the world. What just happened?
The monitor just turned
Oh,
off.
you're saying now we can actually see it in the darkness, Adam? It's about damn time.
It's a Batman movie. It has to get
It has
dark.
to get dark. Exactly.
This changes nothing for the listeners.
No, but changes everything for the viewers, which is just us two.
It's true. It's more in the theater mode now.
Yeah, I don't like watching movies when it's like there's some light. Like we have curtains at home.
Blackout curtains?
No, I wish. Like I remember the basement in my parents' place. It's a basement, right? So it's tiny little windows. So I just put the big blinds on that thing, and then just like complete darkness.
It's the best way to watch a
Best
movie.
way to do it.
Now, yeah, like majority of the time I watch shit, yeah, it's like all the lights are on and
Yeah, it's just
sun
a
beaming
different
in.
experience.
Yeah, I agree. So every Batman movie and comic has to have the origin story of Batman.
At some point, like even when it's not even necessary, in like Batman v Superman, they still got to show the whole Martha thing. It's just like
Yeah.
it's not necessary.
Yeah,
Like people know.
I've heard the argument. It's like, okay, as much as you think it's unnecessary for someone, that's
Someone
their
doesn't
first
know.
Batman film.
But it's I don't know. It's kind of like I like the way they put it upon like Spider-Man: Homecoming.
It is
It's like you've seen it 1,000 times.
yeah,
we're not going to
gonna-
explain it to you.
Okay, we're gonna do
We're
this
moving
again for the
forward.
last time.
Exactly. There's a small little mention that he's been bitten by a spider, and that's about it. You know what I mean? Like that's the
no.
excess of it. Like where did she learn all this stuff?
I don't know. She just has it. I don't know how she gets all her knowledge in the comics. I think there's like an element of like her dad being a cop that she learns how to be tough. But then like
Is it in the Killing Joke that she's in a Batman?
that she's what?
That Barbara's into Batman. Oh wait, no, that's
the
not
cartoon that they made. They had this whole side love story.
Yeah,
And then there's that other storyline at the start which never gets resolved, which is very frustrating.
Yeah, because doesn't she like sleep with Batman?
I think there's these elements of that, but I don't know. Batman, like, sleeps around a little bit, with Catwoman and
sure.
isn't it not Talia?
Yeah.
Is it Ra's al Ghul's daughter?
Totally Talia.
There's
Yeah.
one of the sisters.
Well, like there's Talia. Talia's like his main love interest.
Yeah,
but, like,
because they're
like married.
They
and,
have
like,
a
some other
kid.
kind- They have a kid.
Damien or whatever.
Damien.
So
They were married at some point. Like
yeah,
and
so
yet she's a
there's
villain. He's pretty much. I guess he's more into villains or badass chicks.
yeah, I guess he's actually in a refrigerator in this. Is that one of the wrestlers? The guy on the left, like
He
the
looks
guy's
kind of like one, doesn't he?
like a Steve Austin.
I mean, they're bigger than him. How tall is Arnold?
6 something.
Is
He's
he?
a big dude.
Well, then those guys are bigger. Like
Let me look up.
he looks
how
tiny
tall
compared to
is
those guys,
Arnold.
man.
Him running.
He
is
looks
fun.
really
Oh yeah, he has
small.
to stay.
Yeah, only in that area.
So is this supposed to be Arkham?
Yeah, no, it's straight up Arkham. Yeah.
How tall is
Arnold. Because look at the difference between those guys. Like he's 1.88 meters. What that doesn't tell me in inches.
Tell me in
Feet.
American.
He's a 6'2".
Okay.
So he's pretty big.
Yeah, he's tall.
So those guys are bigger.
You're
like, I guess
How
it's just,
tall are you? You're pretty tall.
I'm about 6, like just
Okay,
shy of 6.
alright.
Like, but I had a couple inches on there. Like, I guess
If you
it's
were
a good
wearing
way.
some boots, maybe you could.
Yeah, if I was wearing those high-end boots, like if I was trying to look like Ethan Hunt or any Tom Cruise movie, I would be wearing those boots that he
Bane
wears.
in that trench coat. He looks like
He looks like
so-
Spider, like a Ninja Turtle.
Yeah, when Raft goes to the movie.
Yeah, there's just a big guy and like the hat just looks awkwardly wearing. Like he looks like it. If you take out that tube,
What was that? Looked like a turtle in a trench
like
coat.
here those guys, like they just
All Bane's like
it just
crew.
looks weird. A bunch of Darth Mauls, neon Darth Mauls.
They look pretty scary, eh? Like with the black
Like why
light.
are they wearing like this weird paint? I don't know. You know what I mean? It feels like very dystopian kind of 80s dystopia.
Yeah. There is that again, that element. I love that just nothing's explained why they look like this
just
and why
are.
it's just they exist.
They're
and
the neon gang,
gangsters
I guess.
and because the comics have a lot of that too, like in
Does it?
well, like just in the Dark Knight Returns, just all like the mutant gang, right? That they all just dress a certain way. They have a lingo. They talk a certain way. People, you just go with it, you know.
These
I like how they just he allows them to do that so they can, and the sound effects. Wing!
You know what I mean? Like it's very cartoony. Like this movie you could just tell it's very meant to be kind of a cartoon, a live action cartoon.
I guess so, yeah.
Which I mean, there's a way to do it, and I don't know if people were just not expecting that, and that's maybe why it failed. So because they were expecting more of that dark kind of Tim Burton still feel to it.
Yeah, which now when you watch it, it's very undark at all.
Oh
You
yeah,
know, it's not bad. It's not like dark again, but I don't know. Well, he just smashes stuff.
Well, even his shoe, you get like as they show his shoe, he's got like 2-3 inches like shoe, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of, I don't know if you ever watched Battlefield Earth.
Battlefield Earth.
It's
Is that
not
the L. Ron Hubbard thing?
That's right. Yeah, the
Yes.
Travolta Hubbard Scientology film.
This plant
and-
growing effect's pretty good.
It almost looks like kind of like a stop motion aspect. to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, in that movie, like the Silex, I think they're called, the big alien guys, they're supposed to be like 8 feet tall. But like you can just
Are they
clearly
controlled by
see,
Xenu?
you can clearly see that, you know, they're wearing these like high platform boots and are having difficulty walking around. Any shot that you see them in, it just looks like, I don't know,
They're
it just
struggling.
looks awkward when they're walking because they're just trying to walk properly. Because they're supposed to be like way taller than humans, and it just looks weird and awkward.
That's so funny.
Yeah, that was a weird movie.
I've never watched it. I know, isn't there a part in the movie where he just runs through a bunch of glass at one point?
Yeah, I think so. The movie has a lot of slow-mo in it too, for like no real reason.
Just because they're like, slow-mo
because
looks
it's
cool. Let's
yeah,
put
exactly.
It in.
And it's constant. Any action sequence starts, it's like slow-mo everything. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, he runs through glass all in slow-mo, constant, like over and over and over. Take that scene from Blade Runner, multiply it by 4 times 5, and slow-mo it, and that's what you get. Whole lot
Is
of
this
women.
Batman's girlfriend?
Huh? Well, that's Bruce Wayne's girlfriend.
Right.
He's always got new girl. Like in the Forever, he's got Nicole Kidman, which I think she's the reporter. Which she's a very popular reporter. And apparently there's a deleted scene that she gets stabbed by Poison
really?
Ivy. Yeah, but like apparently she finds like Bruce with Poison Ivy. And then she confronts Poison Ivy, and Poison Ivy like stabs her or something, but apparently it's too dark. You know, it's a children's movie after all, so that had
Right, you can't
that
have
had
that.
to go.
I guess Schumacher wanted Nicole Kidman to play Poison Ivy, eh?
But she had already played in Forever.
Chase Meridian.
But but it's because Poison Ivy was supposed to be in Forever, I think, and then they couldn't fit her in, so they moved her to this movie. Something like that.
So yeah, like Schwarzenegger had been previously considered for a few TV like superhero stuff, like
Really?
the Hulk, obviously.
Yeah, Lou Ferrigno's the Hulk.
Like apparently, you remember that Superman like Lois and Clark's show? I think on. It was back on.
Lewis, yeah, just yeah, okay, yeah. I
Oh no,
remember that
sorry. The old apparently he tried out for Clark Kent for the
In-
1978 film.
one. Really?
Yeah,
I feel like it wouldn't work. He'd be like one with the
Apparently,
accent.
he turned down the chance to play Bruce Wayne before Michael Keaton was cast.
Really? Now that would have been an interesting Batman.
Because
I've got a bad childhood.
my mother and
I'm afraid
father
of-
was killed.
Oh, look at that Clockwork Orange right there.
And a very Clockwork Orange reference.
You know what this feels like? It feels like,
Ninja Turtles.
well, just like these different gangs feels like the Warriors,
Warriors.
right? Like, you know, all these like different clans, these different like groups, and then it's like a weird version of Warriors, Ninja Turtles, and Fast and Furious.
It's like that guy's
Oh,
ludicrous.
isn't that
there.
Randy? No, not Randy. Isn't that
Tobias?
Tobias?
It would have been a lot funnier if it's Tobias Fumke.
Oh, that kid.
And there's a kid.
I remember that kid.
raging out.
Yeah. Again, this shouldn't like. This is not the movie was never made for adults.
But if you think about Arnold as Batman in 1980s when he was in
that would
the-
have been
because
hilariously amazing.
he looks like Batman in the comic, right?
Sure,
when Batman
sure.
is just impossibly jacked
yeah,
and can
crazy
fight.
Jack.
I don't know. That would have been an interesting movie.
I mean, I definitely
The
would have liked to
accent
see
wouldn't
it.
have worked. But
No, the accent would have ruined it, but I think it could have been really funny. I mean, it's like seeing Nick Cage as Superman would have been amazing. With long hair, Superman, like just weirdly, awkwardly built. I don't kill people. Alfred, I need a Batmobile. Swear to me. What are big Batman lines?
Where's the trigger?
Where's the Joker?
Where's Rachel?
Where's Rachel? I need to know.
I'm Batman. He would have said, "I'll be back" too.
I'll be back to become Batman later.
You're the Joker, but I am the Batman.
I mean,
If you cast, if you cast,
who do you cast as Joker?
yeah,
You've got
in that, like to contrast the Schwarzenegger, Stallone. Oh,
Hey.
Batman. Why? This is serious. Okay, at the time though, the 80s like villains. I'm just trying to think like who would play the Joker.
Who would be the Joker?
Like you think about like villains from Batman movies, or no, Schwarzenegger movies, or you know, or from the time. Peter, I know Peter Weller actually did the voice for Batman in one of the animated ones.
Peter Weller, isn't that RoboCop?
Yeah.
All right. As the Joker, you've got. Who would you put? Who would you cast as the Joker? Arnold always had different rivalry. Tom Arnold as the Joker. I mean, he's played in a couple movies with
it's
Schwarzenegger.
True.
You know what? No, Rob Schneider.
Rob Schneider.
But you have to have Stallone
Joker
as Batman.
Yeah.
Stallone, Batman, Rob Schneider as the Joker.
Right. What's that movie? They're in it together.
There's two of them.
Demolition Man.
And Judge Dredd.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know why.
Why did the motorcycle blow up when it just slid off the thing?
Because it did.
Good thing he caught her. Her helmet fell off. Was it not done up?
I mean, no. You're lucky. I got you.
That line, this is where you hang out.
That looks bad though. Like the camera looks extremely shaky.
Yeah.
Or like, sorry, not the background looks too shaky for the camera.
It looks like rear screen projection. Like, you know, it's like rear screen works sometimes, but yeah.
And then other times it just fails miserably.
Exactly. I'm still thinking about who would be involved in this Arnold version of Batman. You know. All
right. Well, which Batman are we going for? Too. Are we going for like 1989? If he was Batman, in that version, Tim Burton's 1989 Batman.
Okay. What about the sequel? Or wait, what's the one with has Two-Face? I feel like
Batman Forever.
That's where you cast Michael Keaton as Two-Face in like a Joker style role.
Oh God.
Or not Joker. Like Beetlejuice. You know how he does.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Do it like that, like his normal voice.
I'd still cast Jim Carrey as the Riddler. I think he did a good job as the Riddler.
Okay.
I always liked him as the Riddler.
The overtopness of his performance.
He's classic Riddler for me.
So apparently Alfred's computer there that he was using earlier with the terrible CD-ROM.
Let me guess. It's a prototype of a computer that actually exists.
Yeah, of a Mac.
Did it actually have a CD-ROM?
The original Mac did, I think.
Did it?
Yeah.
I've never had a Mac. I've played on a Mac. I think it was on your computer. This is the most Mac experience I've had. Oh, no. Alfred's dying.
Apparently, Clooney turned down doing Green Hornet to do this, and they decided not to make Green Hornet.
Interesting. And then all we got was Seth Rogen's Green Hornet.
That was still pretty good.
I don't remember it. And I hate when like everybody, anytime they like paint or like carve something, they're just amazing, like almost impossibly amazing. Like, you know how hard that would be to do that
insane
on ice?
Intricate detail.
Like holy crap. Like it's like Spider-Man. You're just a high school kid and you didn't design your suit. I'm sorry. Like the spider bite didn't make you a freaking like costume designer.
That's why having Tony build him the suit makes a lot of sense.
I know. And that's another thing what the MCU is interesting about is it's still backed in kind of that reality aspect to it. At least I feel like it. You know what I mean? Like Tony Stark built his suit. That makes sense. The man is a genius and builds like weapons. I can see him building something like that.
People reacting just to like her like
Man, okay, those guys are the guys from original, and they're taller than Arnold. That means she's taller than Arnold.
Yeah, or maybe she's in heels,
Maybe.
Her hairstyle in this kills me, like the horn things,
She's real horny. Instant death.
She's got the killer lipstick.
Two-Face and Riddler outfits.
They had that in there.
I mean, that doesn't make sense, though, because Two-Face wouldn't have been in Arkham.
No? Where does Two-Face go?
Two-Face dies, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, right.
Doesn't he?
I don't remember. I thought...
Maybe he does survive, because I just remember the scene on the cliff and, like, Robin's holding on to Two-Face. Maybe he arrests him. Maybe he does arrest him. I know Riddler gets arrested.
Because in the comics, it's like Bruce Wayne is friends with Harvey Dent.
Yeah.
And he's very conflicted about...
And then in this universe, Harvey Dent is... well, there's two versions of Harvey Dent in this, actually.
In this ethos? Because he's not a... Is he a lawyer in this?
Yes, Harvey Dent is played by Lando.
Is he?
Yeah, I'm pretty
No, I
sure.
thought he was the... No, that's the mayor. I thought... Does he play Harvey Dent in that?
Yeah, man, I'm pretty sure Harvey Dent in the Tim Burton, and then he's changed out by Tommy Lee Jones later on, but I'm pretty sure Harvey Dent is the because he's DA.
District
And
Attorney.
yeah, he's
So... Because, he's...
Billy D. Williams plays him in...
So it's actually Harvey Dent in that. I need the diamonds for my hideout.
Let's see here. Pretty sure he plays him. Like I could have sworn.
I thought it was he just played the mayor. I didn't think it was actually
1989. He plays him in Lego Batman movie.
Yeah, I remember that. That was a really cool nod.
But I'm pretty sure he plays him because he played him in Batman and Batman Returns.
Oh, okay.
Again, I could be wrong. Let me look this up.
Use the Google.
That's what I'm doing.
Ice the pipes.
Ice the pipes.
And he freezes the wall. That's the
Vicky
thing.
Vale, Vicky Vale.
Who builds all this stuff? Who has the time?
Lee Wallace is Mayor Borg.
Ah.
Who's Lee Wallace?
I don't know. You never said a thing about a wife. That's what I mean. Some of this feels like they just made shit up on the spot. And they're like, yeah, that'll work.
Yeah,
That's good
Billy D.
enough.
Williams plays Harvey Dent.
So weird. Which, that would have been cool if they kept him,
I think that was the point, right? Like, they were probably planning on doing something with him, and then it just never...
Because, again, like, when Tommy Lee Jones plays, Two-Face Harvey Dent, like, there's no real... just him chewing the scenery, essentially.
In what? When Tommy Lee Jones takes it?
Yeah, like...
Well, yeah, you don't see a
stupid.
Harvey Dent anymore, right? You see Two-Face. There's no Harvey Dent whatsoever with Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah.
And
And
that would have been interesting to like. I could see Tommy Lee Jones playing a Harvey Dent character, kind of
Yeah,
a very
like-
kind of strict, kind of
lawyer type guy.
lawyer
But
that
then
turns just insane.
goes insane.
I can see that, but yeah, he hams it up like crazy. But I think that's the point, right? You're going all ham in these kinds of movies, like they're homaging the old '60s kind of Batman in a weird.
Right.
It's like a big budgeted 60s Batman, like mixed of serious and hammy, cartoony performances.
Right.
Again, as a kid, I loved it.
Snowy cones ice cream.
I missed it. Look at like that even the cop cars are very like
It looked like
30s
miniatures.
and 50s. They did. But like even the style of it, if you notice, like that's their cop cars. Their cop cars are very like 1940s. Like look at the airplane.
That's like supposed to be Casablanca.
You know what I mean? Like the technology is like what year is this?
Yeah.
What year is it?
But again, that's I think pulled a lot from Frank Miller's comics.
Of that like
Frank
You don't
Miller-
really know which kind of era it is.
Yeah, like Frank Miller just pulled like any cool cars he would find and draw homages to it, and just add in whatever he felt was cool, look cool.
Yeah,
and fit.
I forget what word that is, but there's a few things that do that. Like the one that comes to mind is Archer.
Yeah,
And they make jokes of it of what year is it, or the Netflix series, A Series of Unfortunate Events.
they
is
do
like,
a similar thing.
Oh yeah. They talk about like Uber and Netflix, but in other things like their cars and like their technology, like they talk about cell phones, and then their phones are like rotor phones. Like the technology's like just like they talk about like the 1930s Olympics that was only like a couple years ago. Like, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't make any sense. Like you have no idea where the time frame is whatsoever. But I kind of like that. I like when they do that, right? Because it puts you in it takes you away. Like this isn't Earth. Like this isn't our world, right? Like this is this alternate world that doesn't really exist. That's another thing DC has. DC has fake cities, whereas Marvel always typically sticks to real places, right? Like
minus
New
the
York
space.
is huge.
Yeah, all the superheroes are in New York. There's so many in New York. Tony Stark, Spider-Man. What's his face?
Captain America's DC, isn't he?
No, Captain America's Marvel.
No, I mean like Washington.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I mean, he starts out in New York, though, doesn't
Does he?
Yeah, like he's from the Bronx.
Oh, yes. You're right, yeah. Again, it's all
Daredevil,
these...
Jessica Jones.
They're all from, like, Hell's Kitchen. Helsinki.
Helsinki Kitchen.
I don't know how diamonds would help him. Like,
yeah, like, do they
get
have
a better
any...
power source. I feel like if you built your suit just to work on diamonds, you should probably get a better power source than that. Like,
they're expensive.
yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Like, think of the time machine, making it work on like gigawatts, like freaking
21 gigawatts,
like nuclear reactor in the there's a reason. Like, you find a better power source. Hey, another scene where Bane and Batman fight on a whatchamacallit.
on the
what is that called? Like a walkway?
gangway or whatever. Or
It's very
a ramp.
similar, right? Like,
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
I never noticed that before.
Hashtag.
Seriously, like this is straight up the scene. This is like a more cartoony version of the
This
Dark
is like
Knight
the
Rises.
SNL version.
Seriously. That would have been fun to see, though, the Christopher Nolan Robin. I mean, you'll say, yeah, we got it. We never got him.
No,
I hate that cop-out of like, oh, Robin, what a nice name. Like, bullshit. That is not his name.
Because like they have his real name in it, Dick, right?
No, they call him Robin. His real name is Robin.
I know, but the whole time they call him Dick, though. Like, he's Dick Grayson.
I don't think they ever say his name in that movie.
Oh, maybe not, eh?
Until then he mentions his name is Robin. It was just like, ooh.
They changed his story, like, kind of.
I didn't like that. Dark
I
Knight
really
Rises is
didn't.
definitely like the worst out of them all. I still enjoyed
Dark Knight
it. But
Rises?
is it the Dark Knight Rises?
Yeah, Dark Knight is the second one, which is, I think.
Yeah, that's what I said, isn't it?
No, you said Dark Knight. Dark Knight's the second.
Yeah.
That's the
Rises
Joker.
is Bane.
Yeah.
Adam, I said Dark Knight Rises.
Okay, no, okay.
All right, don't. I know what I said.
All
I know
right.
what I said.
Don't get upset.
The third one is
third.
definitely the least.
It's true. It's not that they're
Favorite.
bad. Like, if you put them in, like, the ethos of all the other Batman.
Oh yeah,
related
it's still a good universe.
It's still better
There's
than
just
Batman v Superman.
There's a
and
few,
Justice
but there's
League.
just a few issues I have with it, right? Like the Robin aspect of it. Like if they never mentioned Robin, I probably would have been fine with it. But
He's
it's
just
like,
a guy. He's just a cop.
yeah, it's just exactly. He's just a guy that's really helpful. But like the fact that his name is Robin, it's like I don't know. But even the whole Bane thing, Bane's look, I wish he would more closer to the comics. But like,
didn't
where
hate
did
Bane's look.
Batman come back from? Like this man just climbed out of a jail. How long has he been there? One, because he had a broken back.
I think the jail is a large metaphor for the Lazarus pit.
There's problems in terms of time frame, Because like out of nowhere, right? This thing is in the middle of the desert somewhere in another country, like millions of miles away.
Yeah.
And he shows up in Gotham, no problem. It's like, where did he get the money? He's like just like
there
some
is
random...
like an element of like, okay, it's just he is Batman. He has,
but it was a little too much of the what's the word I'm looking for? Everyone always falls in a vat.
it's true. There's a huge problem with people falling into shit.
What is going on, Batman? Get yourself
Fucking
some...
Joker, Two-Face,
Now Robin.
Robin, the Mr. Freeze.
Mr. Freeze. Well, did Two-Face fall? I don't think so.
Well,
He gets acid thrown in his face.
yeah, that's true. There's a lot of.
From that one small little video that they showed.
Oh yeah, he gets like really angry because of this goo, right? It's like Ghostbusters. You know when the goo gets on them, they get really angry at each other.
the slime.
Yeah. I forgot my train of thought about the. Oh yeah, I will say the one thing about that Dark Knight Rises, the thing that bothered me was
The nuke.
well, there's that.
Let's blow it off, and you'll never be able to go in the water for like 25 years. Like it's right off the edge. Like there's no way these people aren't like dying of radiation
it would have
poisoning.
fucked everything up for sure. But the one thing, it's that Batman's retired.
Right.
That's the thing I didn't like. I would have liked it.
He just
almost-
retires and that's it, right? Like he's like, it's not like he found a replacement. Nothing.
and he wasn't Batman for very long, which
I guess, if you think about it, he's Batman for what, like 5 years?
if that, like I think it's like a shorter.
Does he
I
find a
don't-
replacement? Is Robin the replacement? I don't remember the ending of that movie too much. I just remember the
No, he
explosion,
just-
and then he finds him at the.
He
at
just
the-
like it just like he ends up finding the cave essentially.
Yeah. So I guess it's kind of a maybe he does, maybe he doesn't.
Yeah, I don't know.
It wasn't a strong ending. It wasn't as strong as the other ones. Even though I actually prefer
That tear is so fake looking. Oh, that looks bad.
And then that transition, it looks like those terrible transitions you use, like movie maker transition.
Yeah, exactly. But
He's mad because Batman killed his girlfriend.
I think it would have been.
Someone killed my wife.
I think what's his face wanted the Joker to have a bigger role in that, and
Right,
that
so that kind of
kibosh.
screwed his
Because like
plan a
when
little bit.
Gotham goes bonkers because Bane's sort of running it like a prison camp, you know,
Right.
that the Joker's on the loose the whole time as well.
Really?
I think that was what his plan was. So that like develops like another thing. Like they essentially just take this storyline from Batman Returns, like Dark Knight Returns,
Yeah.
and flip it a bit and make it Bane instead of the mutant leader. But Batman still has to deal with the Joker in the end. And
Yeah. Interesting.
I think that's what they're going for.
I don't know. It definitely wasn't as strong as the other ones. Even though I actually prefer Batman Begins over The Dark Knight.
Because it still had some of the Burton elements in a way, you know, like it had some of the Gotham looked a little weird. And
Sure. I'm a stickler for origin stories. I don't know why.
you love the origin story.
I love the origin stories. You know what I mean? Like even like something like Spider-Man versus Spider-Man 2, which apparently a lot of people. I remember Spider-Man 2 being like one of the best superhero movies for a long time.
I think it still is.
But I mean, like in nowadays, there's so many good superhero movies, right? Like it's looking back at Spider-Man 2, I can see it, but still, like things have definitely surpassed it. But even what I'm saying is like a strong sequel, like The Dark Knight or the Spider-Man 2 or the Blade 2. I'm a stickler for that origin story is kind of aspect to it. I don't know why.
You just love it.
It's just always been that for me. I always liked it, but I mean, I still like the sequel. I still like Dark Knight. Dark Knight is fantastic, but I don't know.
Yeah, you like just seeing. Okay, wait though. Do you like it whenever it comes out immediately, or do you like it in retrospect?
I still like it, and like even now, if it's like choose which one of Chris Nolan. I'd have to rewatch. It's been a while there, but I'm like, after multiple rewatches, to me was the Batman Dark Batman Begins.
Yeah,
was my favorite.
I sort of feel similar, but for me it's like I like that movie after having watched everything else. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
Also I will say, like, for Marvel, with how good Infinity War was, it
so
raises
good.
the stock of the first Thor movie, which wasn't that great when it came out.
True,
But
true.
now you're like, oh, okay, I want to go back and see Thor start out, because they all still work together, or like see
Sure.
the first
No, I
Cap
see what
or
you
Iron
mean.
Man, and
I mean, Iron Man was my favorite.
first Iron Man's really good.
First one to me, just because it doesn't. It's not.
That is the best origin story for.
It's fantastic, right?
So good.
It's so good. I mean, the villain in he's an okay villain. I mean, I like Jeff
dude.
Bridges. I like Jeff Bridges, but like his whole motivation kind of sucked.
It's
a
not
bit.
as good, no.
Like, there's definitely better villains in the universe. I think that's been the issue with Marvel, and I think almost any superhero movie is villains aren't as strong as they could be.
Yeah,
They
Loki
never
was their
reflect-
best one. Killmonger.
I hated Killmonger.
Really?
Oh yeah, his motivation's awful. I don't care.
Really?
Oh yeah, don't get me started on Black Panther.
I actually thought he was the best villain.
No,
No, I think
No.
they shouldn't have killed him.
no, he's pretty much Hitler.
You think so?
100%. He wanted to commit pretty much like the killing of everything other than the
That's
black
true.
race. Like, if you, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, I can relate him to." So it's like, can you really though? Like, the man is just trying to eradicate a whole race.
No, I got you there. I'm not saying he's a good person.
No, but I remember
I'm
some
saying,
people saying like, "Oh, he's a good villain." Here's the problem with.
But he's got a
Killmonger.
motivation. He's got a motivation, and it stems from something.
Here's the problem I have with him is his plan is so reliant on luck. It's unbelievable.
Like what's the luck?
Well, here's the thing. Like, why didn't, like, if he really wanted to get in, let's be honest, his main plan, he wanted to be king. And it's made evident when he becomes king. He doesn't really care about all that other stuff. He mainly wanted to be king.
Yeah, he's Scar.
He wanted
essentially.
that. He wanted that throne. Like even when he's sending all that stuff, you can feel like that's like his second. Like, he doesn't really give a crap about that really that much. He just wanted to be king. If he wanted to be at that so badly, he could have shown up anytime.
Right.
Why is he
right.
taking so long? And then at one point, you know, he gets rid of spoiler alert, gets rid of Claw, and then shows up and brings him to like the border.
Yeah.
What are the odds that he shows up at the border and he just happens to come across the guy that, you know, is kind of a little pissed off at Black Panther because they used
Right.
to be friends because he never got Claw. Now he's on
Right.
it. You know what I mean? It's just like all these things are like he never thought of that. Like, that wasn't it all lined up properly.
I know what you mean.
You
There
know,
is a lot
Black
of
Panther, if
convenient
he
stuff.
hadn't have said yes to the second fight, nothing of this would have happened. You know, it's all these like things. It just,
It's true.
watching it, you're like, this wouldn't happen. Like, he just got extremely lucky.
Back
I don't know.
to
Yeah, sorry.
back to Batman and Robin. This is the
Like, are the pheromones?
Poison Ivy is tricking Commissioner Gordon. Commissioner Gordon's such a doofus.
He
in
is,
this,
right?
which
Like,
sucks because
he's
not.
no Gary Oldman.
I know. Gary Oldman was so good.
And funny enough, it's like it's the closest we'll get to a Gary Oldman playing just like a regular.
Person, he always
Right?
plays such a weird.
He always has a weird character. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but you know, I think of like The Fifth Element or Leon the Professional. Man, he's weird in that
Man, I
movie.
love that movie.
He's a weirdo in that movie, man.
Um,
I just saw that one recently.
have you ever heard of Tiptoes? I think it's called.
Is it the one with the little people?
Yeah, and he plays. A
Yeah, I
dwarf.
wanted to see that movie. I saw the trailer for that. And I've
It's
been
been
looking around for
recirculating
that.
like lately. We should try and find that and watch that
'Cause,
on the
oh my
show.
god, that movie looks
really offensive.
terrible. Apparently, it's terrible. But yeah, he plays a little person. Again, it's just
But it's like a big cast: Matthew McConaughey,
Yeah.
Kate Beckinsale.
Yeah, Bacon Cell. Yeah, Tiptoes. I just recently heard about that movie because a friend of mine likes to collect like really bad movies
Yeah,
that we
eh?
find on like pawn shops and stuff. Going like, oh, this looks terrible. Let's get it. That's what came across like Battlefield Earth, which is an awful movie.
Right, but that's
God
like
awful.
L. Ron Hubbard making that like to promote Scientology though.
It is, yeah. Like some people say it's not relevant to Scientology, but like looking at it and then reading into Scientology, I was like, yeah, I can see the similarities to it, but it's so
Enter
out
password Alfred
there. Isn't it her?
Wayne.
Bruce Batman.
Access denied.
Access
Access
denied. Access denied. What do you think the word is? You think it's just her?
It's Fuddrucker.
Fuddrucker? Or aka motherfuckers in
Yeah.
Idiocracy?
Maybe it's like it's like Bruce Wayne is a big crybaby.
George Clooney is Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. George Clooney is Bruce Wayne.
Bruce Chin.
Bruce Chin. What about Bruce Campbell as Batman? Imagine he was cast as
that'd be
Batman back in the
amazing.
day.
He'd be such a campy Batman. It'd be awesome.
He would have been so good. Man, now I'm sad that doesn't exist.
Right? That sounds amazing.
I was like rereading Bruce Campbell's book recently, If Chins Could Kill.
If Chins Could Kill.
That's such a good book.
It's a good book. Yeah, I read that book.
It's really like, it is kind of like the way they got Evil Dead made. It's really like inspiring.
Right?
You know, like
raised like from their community. Was it 300,000, something like
a couple
that?
$100,000, yeah. And then it failed, the first one, and then they had to do that all over again.
What? The first one was a hit, wasn't it?
Well, not enough that they got their money back. I don't think.
Really? I thought it was a hit in terms of the that circle of horror aspect. I could have sworn. I mean, you reread it more recently than I have.
But it was the second one that took off, I think.
I mean, the second one's my favorite.
Because it's essentially just a remake of the first.
It's a slight, yeah, it's a remake and sequel, because the ending of the first one happens about 20 minutes
right
in the second one. You know what I mean? Like the part where he gets taken and like spun around and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
And I just, I love those chapters about just Sam Raimi pretty much torturing the shit out of Bruce Campbell. or Sam Raimi's car.
Yes.
They talk about it a lot. Like he's constantly putting it back into shape so he can put it in his next movie.
Yeah, it's funny.
When is the password England? Come on, just write your name.
Oh, it's gonna
is
be
it
Peg.
just Peg?
It's what
Margaret. Oh yeah,
Margaret.
I never got that. Peg is short for Margaret.
What?
Yeah, you never knew that?
I had
It's
no
Peg.
idea.
That's why he writes Margaret.
How do you get Peg from Margaret?
Exactly. It's kind of like
Access allowed.
See,
That's so weird.
Here's the problem with I hate passwords in movies and stuff, is like the password's always in front of them, like from something that's related. That's bullcrap. Most people's passwords are like my password is something no one will ever figure out, because it's something like from my childhood, like a password.
They're gonna figure it out.
You know what I mean? Like it's not even it's numbers.
Is it Matt is cool 6969?
No, but that's what I'm saying. It's all numbers. Like,
Right,
you know what I mean? Like, most people, it's mostly like numbers and letters. Like, and they usually, I mean, the problem is everyone uses passwords for everything. Like, if you figure out one password, then you figure out pretty much how to access
I know.
every single social media, their banking accounts.
It's true, yeah.
You're not supposed to do that, so don't do it.
I try and
but
have
most
like
people
different
do.
passwords for everything, but it's hard to keep track of them all.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I have like one that just changes, like, depending on like if they're asking for more letters and stuff.
Right. Yeah, I do the same.
But
so,
yeah, you got like, you turn around on 2-3 passwords. But yeah, Peg is short for Margaret.
that is so weird.
Right? Well, think about this. Like, why is, like, you got Rick is Richard.
Yeah.
But so is Dick.
Yeah.
Like, how does
That's
that
a
make
weird
sense? So
one.
like Richard, Rich, Rick, Dick.
Yeah. You know what's another one?
Bob is short for Robert. So
Yeah,
is
that
it like
makes sense.
Robert, Rob,
Bobby.
Billy,
William.
William, right?
The
Bill,
weird one is
Will.
Anthony. It's Sandy is another version of Anthony.
No, I've never heard that.
Yeah.
Sandy? I know Tony.
Yeah.
Elizabeth, you got Liz, Beth,
Lizzie.
Lizzie,
all
but
sorta
like
make
those that
sense.
makes sense. But something, but even like
Margaret
Bill
and Peg. I've never heard that until
Yeah,
now.
that's
I
that.
believe you because I just saw it in
You
this
just
movie.
saw it in the movie. Yeah, no, it's a straight up thing. It's very bizarre for sure. Very bizarre. And I don't know why. Let's try to okay. Margaret, Marge, Meg, Peg.
That's pretty good. Like
I don't
association,
know.
like getting there.
Like
You know when you get like a nickname, like like it starts out as like one thing, you're like do da da da, and then you end up your nickname ends up being butthole or something, you know?
well, it just reminds me of the word association from Michael Scott. Anytime he tries to associate someone, just like bald, Bob, Billy, Robert. See,
Yeah.
like something stupid. Like I love how even his explosive devices are ice like related.
You know what's funny? My mom has those things now at Christmas. They like light up with like
yeah,
Christmas
I know what you're
colors.
talking about. Yeah. The little they look like Christmas lights.
Yeah, exactly. That's now just my mom's Christmas decorations.
Your mom is
My mom could be Victor Freeze.
Yeah, your mom might be Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, or Nora.
Nora Freeze.
Hell freezes over. It's so bad. It's
All those puns. But I mean, if you're gonna get, I feel like as soon as they got Arnold, right, they're just like give him as many puns as you can.
yeah.
The man is made for.
We're gonna
like,
ham it
those
up
puns.
big time. Doesn't she get a costume like really fast?
Well, Alfred already designed one for her.
Got it.
Here's the thing: I'm pretty sure in this movie, Alfred's the one that makes all the suits and stuff.
It's not Lucius Fox, eh?
No.
That kind of bugged me that because Lucius Fox is not in any of these, right?
I don't know if Fox is a comic. Is he from the comics?
Yeah, he's the one. He's the one that actually builds all Batman stuff.
Is that like from the beginning? Like
Yeah,
or-
I'm pretty sure he's in a lot of them.
I thought Lucius Fox only came in like later on.
Maybe.
After the Nolan movies.
Really? I always thought he was in there somehow.
I could be wrong, man. I could definitely be wrong.
This is so weird. This giant screen of Alfred. Oh yeah, so he built her.
Yeah, Alfred's the one that builds it in this show, in this movie.
I like these
Oh,
terrible.
okay, so he appeared he appeared in the 70s.
They're just bat boobs.
I mean, if you gotta have, but there's no nipples.
Yeah, she doesn't get the nipples.
No, I wonder why.
because that'd be weird.
That would be very weird.
Not that everything else would be weird. So is there like a Robin symbol there? They got the Robin thing up.
Yeah, he's got his own signal, which I mean, I don't really get why you would need to call one over the other.
True. Yeah, there's a lot of made up cities in the DC universe, right? Because like Robin, and when he becomes Nightwing, ends up going to Bloodhaven to fight crime there, and then that's when
He
like,
moves to another city. I know that.
Yeah, and then that's when like Bruce gets Jason Todd.
Is that the one that dies?
Yeah, that's the one that dies. Yeah,
Like how many are there?
3, I think.
Wasn't there a guy named Tim? Because there's obviously Dick Grayson, which is played by O'Neill.
I know there's like
Grayson, there's
Dick Grayson, Jason Todd,
Jason, who gets killed by the Joker with
and
the
then
crowbar.
There's Carrie Kelly, who becomes it's a girl that becomes
right,
Robin
yeah.
in the other one.
And there's Damien, who becomes Robin as well in the.
I guess he becomes.
He was Robin for a bit.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure there's another one.
Yeah. Eh?
Again, we're not all DC experts here. We know a little bit of everything.
A little bit of stuff.
Okay, so he's been in it since like almost like around the 80s is when he kind of showed up in the comics.
Yeah. Eh?
So in theory, he could have been in this series introduced, but I guess it just adds an extra character that you need.
They need to have backstory.
But I mean, if
for
you're gonna get Lucius Fox, right? Like Morgan Freeman was pretty nice.
And Bruce Wayne played that music on the stereo for us. And it was, I didn't know what those 2 French ladies were singing about, but it probably wasn't about how he was Bruce Wayne Batman.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. Let's see if I can Morgan Freeman it up.
Do it up.
Okay, I'll need a couple of tries here.
All right, you gotta find it.
Never did a Morgan Freeman.
You gotta
never.
say like Andy Dufresne.
Andy Dufresne. It's just
Now you sound like Bane. Andy Dufresne.
Well, Andy, it seems you've gotten busy dying. Get busy dying. Get busy dying. I can't do it. I can't. I can't not sound like Bane. Get busy dying or get busy living.
Batman is upside down now.
As one does.
The bat is always upside down.
Man, that seems very dangerous. Her freaking her
plants look so fake. Like it looks like when you go to Michael's to buy like fake plants for your crafts.
Here comes the woman fight.
It's so clearly not her too. Like when she's doing all these flips.
Yeah, this ain't no arrow.
It's just always poses of her like fighting pose.
But seriously, that's another thing. Like it's just a little. Apparently, she had like a cow, like a whole mask.
And she got a little thick.
Oh God.
That was like a reverse.
Yeah.
You see that?
He goes in and then they reverse it for him to go back out. That looked bad.
That looked really bad. How did they get away with that?
Probably because they didn't have a shot.
Probably, eh? And they had to like.
What
nobody's
other,
gonna notice.
What other reason, Adam, do you do things like that? Yeah, it's probably because you didn't have a shot. Like we
It's
both
true.
know that that's what happens. You got to find
That's
alternative
true.
ways.
That's true.
Man,
It is funny when they cut to the stunt double, eh? Like it's very obvious that it's somebody else.
But that's what I'm saying. It's so I hate that when the movies do because you clearly know it's someone else because it's
You
like
hate
it's
it?
like well I hate it for the fact that like because after you see things like an Arrow, you can just appreciate it so much better, right? When
True.
you see like you're in a close up the whole time and it's happening. Like think of John Wick.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
so good.
There's no like this ain't Taken 3. And I think I've discussed this before.
How
like,
bad Taken 3 is?
Good. Well, just it's the amounts of shots. I don't know if you've ever seen Taken 3, but the most infamous shot is the Liam Neeson jumping over the fence.
There's 10 million cuts.
Yeah, it's insane the amount of cuts in that thing. So like, things when they don't have that many cuts because the actor is doing it.
Yeah.
I don't know, because, yeah, like, even if you look in this movie, it's like, cutaway shot from afar, like, high kick, cut back, and just her in a pose saying a line, then cut back to, like, a first shot so you can't see another kick. It's just...
It's pretty bad, eh?
Well, it's what we're used to
Yeah.
back in the day, but, like, when movies actually do it right, it's like, damn.
Like Daredevil with, like, the hallway fights or all that.
Exactly, things like that. It's just... Also, how bad would it be? Like, I'd be so afraid of having neon in my mouth all the time.
Yeah, it can't be good for you.
Right?
Arnold's had a lot of heart attacks. I wonder if
Has he?
Yeah, he's had like 2.
I know he had to have heart surgery at the end after
Bypass.
this movie, but see, but that's what I'm saying. It's. I think it's just something when it comes to bodybuilders, right? Because they're pumping up so much, it just puts a strain on their brain. Not their brain, their heart.
Yeah, but it's just like there's extra like blood, like muscles and capillaries and all that. Why is there a cut? Oh, because the dog froze to the thing.
I think it's I don't know exactly the reason why, but to me it makes the most sense, right? Because he's pumping up the.
I thought you were a doctor.
Yeah, MD in movies.
Yeah.
Here's the
Can you
thing.
get a doctorate in watching movies? Because that's
Probably
what
could. Like, you can get a doctorate in anything.
they just give you an honorary doctorate, like just to humor you. If you've done like some humanitarian work,
I mean,
or something good.
there's probably a doctorate in film studies.
Film studies for sure. So like, if you could transfer that into,
Imagine having a doctorate in something useless as that. I'm not saying like watching. Oh
there's
god,
like
that looks terrible.
wind-powered thing,
And
she's
like
on
the
a bat
motorcycle
bike.
wouldn't work. Like it's on ice.
I think I had the Batgirl bat bike.
I mean,
I had some of these toys, but I honestly
like,
feel
look at that mask.
It's bad.
I'm pretty sure she was supposed to always have that, but then they changed it to just be. And like, when did they switch outfits?
In the comics, she has a cowl like
Yeah,
him.
exactly. But they changed it. But like, when did they change outfits? Weren't they just fighting and all of a sudden like, let's go home, change our outfits,
Get the
'cause we're
vehicles.
going, like. But you know what I mean? Like, what they changed to like this like silver look
He's
to
like
it.
essentially on like a snowmobile.
See,
with,
that's
like,
more of
a-
his like Nightwing kind of
Yeah, I guess, eh?
feature with that pertaining to the colors.
This vehicle is so stupid looking.
Yeah, they don't look great. They look like toys.
Activate shield.
They look like toys. All these things, you know what I mean? Like you could just see it being sold as a toy compared to other things.
I think I had. It must have been from Burger King because that's where I went a lot as a kid with my uncle, and I think I had a lot of these toys, but like the Burger King version.
Right,
Like they were like
right.
kind of because I remember the Freeze's his little ship,
There's probably a little rolly thing that you can like pull back and it
and
goes
then yeah, and
forward.
then it goes flying off the table, breaks, and never works again.
Yeah. These things always hit everything.
I do like Batman's grappling hook. Like I feel like Nolan didn't make use of it as much
Yeah,
as he
I'm
could
trying to
have.
think. Like, did he use it a lot? Like,
Not as much as like because Batman can essentially like fly with it.
pretty much.
Yeah. It's almost like Spider-Man.
Look
Like
at the outfit. It looks.
yeah, they all have like these new outfits now.
It's a little bizarre.
All
Okay,
the cutaways to the things, they
I
all
don't know.
have individualized.
But yeah, you're right. Like this one definitely is more like of gadgetry.
Yeah.
But I think that also brings it back to that '60s kind of feel to it, right? Like
So they have these like
I love the
melter
way that they
things.
melt. Like they melt everybody in this part. Like
Yeah,
everyone's
eh?
frozen, but it's just like, oh yeah, we're just gonna reverse it. Like I think he puts like I forget exactly, but I'm pretty sure it's just another ray that just warms everyone up. It's like that's not how it works. Like,
We'll use the satellites to
but like if you use a freezing ray, like let's put a heat ray on people, like you're just gonna kill them more.
he can't die anymore. He's already dead.
But you know what I mean? Like if someone's frozen, instant frozen like that, like in general, like as they're like warming these people up, because they're doing that earlier, right? Like people are just warming up and they're perfectly fine. In real life, obviously that would never happen.
No.
But
it
let
would never
alone
happen.
like just shooting this jet of like heat. Like how much is this heat? Like I don't know.
I don't know.
it would
This is like a
burn
microwave
people.
essentially.
Hey,
Tonight's forecast. And like the super zoomed
freeze
in.
is coming. Hey, this sounds like Canada.
Essentially.
Mr. Freeze is actually in charge. That wouldn't put it
JJ
past
Clark
me.
with the weather.
Well, no, I'm saying Mr. Freeze is actually this whole movie where he's freezing people. I'm pretty sure that's what's happening to Canada right now. Like
It's true.
all these snow days we're having, like every single
It's true.
freaking day.
It's true.
Hold on.
All this falling
hold
looks
on.
really bad.
It's just the capes.
I
Oh,
know.
and now we're falling some more.
We're
Hold on.
falling.
And then
We're
she'll say some
falling.
line like, "Hold on, I got you." Like, where'd you get that? Like,
Oh, apparently this Mac cannot connect to the iCloud.
uh oh, that's not good. Adam, I can't see the movie anymore. What's going on? Beware of technical difficulties.
You know, that's like something about Mac that fucking drives me nuts. Like you're like, I'm watching a movie. It's clearly in full screen, and the Mac's like, "Okay, can I tell you about something though?"
I don't know if you noticed that, Adam, because you were doing you were busy making the Mac work again. But he got stuck like underneath, and he was hanging upside down.
Okay.
And if you notice, there's like it cuts to a cross where he crosses his arms like
Okay.
like a bat, and there's a shot where he's just hanging upside down, it's crossing around, like not doing anything. It's just like it felt like that's exactly all. The only reason they did that was so it's like, oh look, he's like a bat.
Do you get it?
But like, you know, like in practice, like he wouldn't have just stood there, just sitting around like that, just holding on.
Punching him in the face. Where do these scientists come from?
They were there. They got
Oh,
frozen.
were they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then they got unfrozen.
Oh,
Oh my
okay.
god.
Now he's kicking him in the face.
The way it's playing, it looks like these like two kids just kicking each other.
Or like mashing toys together.
Yeah, there we go again. This whole movie just
It's
feels like
both
toys.
I do notice when Clooney talks in the bat suit, he moves around a lot, like a kid would bounce a toy up and down, like, oh, oh no, Bane loses all of his
Turns back
size.
into.
The transition from Bane to the skinny dude is pretty good, eh?
It's pretty neat. But yeah, it's the only thing that's missing from this movie are giant wooden blocks I can just blow through. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
In the movies, action figures never came with those damn blocks.
No, they never did.
I always wanted those blocks. You
Toy
always wanted to,
commercials back in like the 90s.
Yeah, I think
2000s.
we've talked about this before. Eh?
Yeah,
Like,
they
toy
were the
commercials
best.
sounded so cool. They always made you want to like play with these games.
This
and
clock
stuff.
is the slowest clock. I actually met another guy at the Comic-Con. He made this galaxy
He makes
plastic
clocks.
He made this Plastic Galaxy documentary about Star Wars toys.
Okay, so it's kind of like the toys that
He
made
worked
us
on.
thing on
He
the
was a
Netflix
producer
thing?
on that Netflix show
Forget
as
what
well.
it's called.
Yeah, the toys that made us. But he made that Star Wars thing before the toys that made us. But
Okay.
yeah, I'm trying to get him to come on the show to.
That's neat. Yeah.
to come and talk about that because he made a D&D doc too about the art of D&D,
That's cool.
Eye of the Beholder. So he's like putting that out like in a few months.
Oh, see, look at this. There's
Oh, so
giant
it's the laser
heat ray.
now. We're just gonna
It's
laser
just
everything
gonna like
down.
it's just gonna unfreeze everything. Like, you know how long it would take to do that to hit every single person?
They could have just waited a bit for global warming to melt it all.
Well, I think they said at the beginning of the movie that like people die within like a specific amount of minutes, so you have to
Oh.
unfreeze them or else they die, kind of thing.
The Christmas decorations are blowing up.
So why you shouldn't buy at like discount stores. Tell your mom that
Him falling, he looks so bad.
Let's just put a dummy in a big suit.
Oh,
I know he always. Ugh,
no one's helping this guy.
No. I mean, that guy's probably dead because everything's falling apart.
Freeze in hell, Batman.
What about the scientists?
I don't know.
There we go. Look at that thing. That looks badass. I will say, it looks
Yeah,
cool.
that's like a miniature blowing up, eh? That looks awesome.
Yeah. Again,
That is like an element of these.
I can
movies
see where the
being
budget
miniatures.
went. Like, it looks real good.
Budget went all towards nipple suits.
Oh, well, I can see why people, you know, it's all it's kind of like it's all about the visual effects and not the story that much, right? Like, I mean, that's today's movies these days too, right? You look at
That looks pretty bad.
here we go. I love how it just blows through like it's paper and then goes through like metal like it's nothing. How?
Yeah, like how does it not rip through the other way?
Exactly, right? It rips through one going straight, not even like a sharp edge, and then like latches onto the, like
Exactly.
impossible.
Yeah, exactly.
Who designed this? Like, this is like magic.
It's true.
Batman is magic.
Dun dun dun.
Is this still Danny
It's
Elfman?
weird. Yeah.
Yeah. It's good. It's good music.
Danny Elfman's made so many good scores, you know? Because I think he came back to do Justice League, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Some of his score or music is in it from like.
Right. Because, yeah, the original Batman score is pretty cool. I do like it. Yeah, like you can.
That's just from this one. I mean, there's probably a little different from the other ones there, but it's catchy.
Like, and then, like, Hans Zimmer sort of took elements of it. Like, he just took two notes of it, like, you know?
What did Hans Zimmer do for Batman?
He just did, like, a simpler version of it, it felt like.
Which one did Hans Zimmer do?
The Nolan ones.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
Okay.
he did all the Nolan stuff.
Weird.
Remember that? Everybody choreographed knowing that song
See, look
down
at
in the
that.
pit.
It looks like it's like instant. Like, look at that, and everyone's just gonna start walking around like it's nothing. Like, ugh. Like, what? It just looks weird to me. Like, and he's in a car.
He probably would have been fine in the car.
Exactly. Would it be like?
He
I
might
don't
have suffocated though, because if no air can get in.
It looks. It's a bizarre. Like the mailbox.
That is weird.
I'll have that hot dog now.
And the dog is okay.
As long as you don't kill the dog, no one hates you. You can kill a man. How many people you can kill? Just don't kill dogs.
It's true. That Godzilla movie, the newer Godzilla movie, there's a scene where all like these people are running, but then they focus in on the dog running. I'm like,
Don't you kill that dog.
it's true.
Don't you do it. Oh, Mr. Freeze
This looks like
awful.
when he like like having that dream in
Oh, in Total
Total
Recall.
Recall, where
Yeah,
he's
where
like-
his eyes are bulging.
yeah. Look at this.
How do you
bat
get it? How do you
phone.
get it? How do you get the? That's not even the right angle.
I know.
Like he wouldn't be shooting from that angle at all.
No.
I hate that. It just feels lazy, right? Like shoot it from another angle with that. Like reshoot that scene. Don't literally grab an actual
new-
edited scene that's already been happening. And I hate that.
I do too.
I mean, I've seen it where it's like really bad, where you can there's cuts in it too. It's just like, what? How did you get that?
Who made this?
Like this is a security footage. It's like it's cut. There's or it's the camera's moving, like it's shaky. It's like what?
Yeah, I know. I
It's
always hated.
security footage.
I always hated that too when they do stuff like that.
Like just shoot a different shot of it. Like what are you doing?
Yeah.
I can see like maybe independent kind of thing because they don't have the budget. These things have millions upon hundreds of millions of dollars. You can
Yeah, it's
spare the B-roll. Like you can spare getting your second unit.
So wait, does Batman save Victor Freeze here?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he saves him because he tells him his wife is alive.
Right. I saved her, but you're going to jail, stupid.
Oh, his eye contacts look like they look good, but like they
look
like,
freaky,
oh,
eh?
It's gross. I'm pretty sure he saves him. Like I could be wrong, but like one of these things is to save Alfred, and one of them is to save his wife.
I think so. Yeah.
Save my wife.
Take two of these.
Call
me in the morning.
That's if he actually said that's awesome.
The cutaways to them too, like, oh, we're helping.
Like seriously, where did he get it? I hate that. Like we were just in a fight. Like no superhero would just stop home and like change outfits completely. Like who cares?
And if they do, it's gotta make sense, you know.
Yeah, in this one it just feels like the only thing that made sense is this is the climax.
The like Avengers when Tony changes his suit, that's a pretty good transition.
When he gets the new suit,
The Mark V or
Yeah,
whatever, like
exactly.
falls out of the thing.
but
That's pretty cool.
It's relevant. Like
Yeah.
it's part into the story.
In the video games, whenever like your Batman character gets new suits, it's always like at a good point. Have you played any of the
I never
Arkham
played
games?
the latest one, Arkham Knight.
Oh, the
I've
Arkham
yet
City?
to play that one. No, I played City. Yeah.
Okay. But they're great, man.
Oh, they're pretty good.
Like
yeah.
the stories are great.
Have
and-
you played the Spider-Man game?
Yes.
It-
Amazing.
It just reminds me of that. Like with
So
a,
good.
with a better like because I'm a bigger Spider-Man fan than Batman fan.
Yeah.
So for me, it just felt like it's like pretty much the Batman games, but in a Spider-Man feel with a great story. And I'm like halfway
Totally.
through right now. It's awesome.
That suit looks pretty dope, all like lit up in the dark like
Yeah, it's
that.
a cool suit. It's freaky, especially with the mouth.
Yeah, eh?
Everyone always just goes crazy in that asylum, eh? Like after they're taken out, they just go like insane in the membrane.
It's true. They could like revisit some of these characters, but having some type of a more serious Batman now. Like maybe Batman's dealt with Mr. Freeze and he's in
Right.
Arkham, and it's old Arnold, or
That'd be
Uma
cool.
Thurma is
Or
back,
like
as-
this like documentary, like a documentarian comes in and like interviews like old Batman villains.
because like
That could be a cool movie,
that's
actually.
like a neat another take on it,
And like maybe Batman hasn't been because like all the bad guys are taken out, right? Like
Yeah, essentially.
Batman doesn't exist anymore, or Batman's been retired, or maybe he's dead. No one knows where he is.
Yeah.
Or another aspect of Batman as a villain.
Yeah.
Like make it on a perspective of just like some criminal guy who's not exactly a bad guy, but you know what I mean. Like he has to done some stuff, and and then like Batman's the one terrorizing him, so it's kind of like this like
Yeah, that
horror
could be a neat
movie
angle.
perspective where Batman's a bad guy.
True, yeah. We could make something.
That could be interesting.
Right.
Someone brought that up to me, like, what if Batman was like a bad guy? And I'm like, that's an interesting perspective.
It is, yeah. Totally.
But like, you know what I mean? Like, he's not a bad guy. It's just like from a different perspective, he could be seen as.
They have that elements in some of the comics of people saying like he enables all these villains and
That's
all
that's
that.
like any superhero, right? Like, as soon as a superhero shows up, all of a sudden these colorful villains show up to kind of
Yeah.
challenge him, and I can see it, right? Because you see someone, and then you're like, I bet I could beat him. So then you gotta.
So they become a team.
And then there's that because in Forever, there's a scene where Batman and Robin are running away and like in a silhouette, and this is gonna be the same thing, but now all three of them
All
are running in a
three.
silhouette.
Yeah.
Partners.
But so Chris O'Donnell came back. He was Robin in the other one, right?
He was. Yeah, you see his origin where because
Flying Graysons, right?
yeah, Two-Face is the one that kills his parents.
Oh, okay. Is it the Joker in the other one? Yeah, they're running.
See, and they did the same thing in Forever, but it was just him and Robin. It's like now there's
Right.
3 of them. Get ready for another one. All right, that's the end of Batman Forever. I mean, Batman and Robin
Yeah.
and Batwoman, Batgirl.
It's kind of peripherally watching it. It's not as bad, but like if I paid money and went to a theater and saw this, I'd be kind of upset.
As an adult, like now, you're saying
Yeah.
you went to see this now, and
Yeah. I know you said you watched it a lot as a kid, so
I did, yeah. So I'm kind of.
The first time I had seen this film was before I'd seen any other Batman films, and I was at a friend's house as kids.
Okay, so you did see this one.
And we
prior
were
to
sort
that.
of peripherally watching it. One of the friends, like, it was just one of those scenarios where your parents, like, want to hang out with, their parents. So you're like,
Oh, yeah,
you're
so
friends
Jesse
now.
Ventura was one of the guards.
Okay. Yeah, it was him. That's why he looked familiar. But, yeah, so that's sort of how I saw it. And I thought it was kind of stupid when I saw it as a kid. I was like, I don't
Really?
know if this works. Because I did like the cartoons as a kid.
Right,
Like, I
right,
watched
right,
the animated
right.
series.
I didn't watch
and-
that as a kid.
Yeah,
like
and
I mean, like I watched this. Like this was my pretty much.
Okay,
version
and I
of
watched the
Batman.
Justice League stuff too on Cartoon Network. So like I was familiar with it. I'm like, this doesn't seem like
right.
this is not Batman. And watching it as an adult later, I thought it was absolutely ridiculous. Like
As you'd say,
and
dog
sort
shit.
of atrocious. And then like trying to rewatch it again, it's really hard getting past that opening scene with Arnold saying all the one-liners. Like it's a lot of eye rolls.
I mean, to me, I enjoy it. It's definitely not Bat Shop. It's definitely not the Batman that should be.
No.
I can see what Joel Schumacher was trying to do.
Do you?
I can kind of see, like, if his intent was to make it more cartoony, and in order
I
to
guess.
sell toys,
Yes.
like, mission accomplished.
Yes.
Almost every single thing you see on here could be sold as a toy, no problem.
Because I think they were
like-
mad at Burton after they made the second Batman.
Yes, because it's really dark.
It's dark and you
they couldn't
can't,
really sell it
like
'cause
the
kids.
Penguin or Catwoman toy or anything, right? So
Yeah, so yeah, then I had read something along those lines. Like, studio was there to sell. I mean, like the whole origins of TMNT that we got, like the TV show and all that, was pretty
to
much
sell
to sell
toys.
toys.
Yeah.
But that's a good story because that was
Yeah.
an actual good animated show.
yeah, it was.
But I could see, like, but as a live action, it doesn't work so well.
No.
Because all these, like, because toys are colorful and they're full of accessories and they're fun and like as a movie, like when you could see, I could see it trying to sell toys.
Do you still like this movie because of it? Like, sort of reminds you of liking it as a kid, or
Yeah, I mean, I kind of know the beats because I watched it as a kid. I still enjoy it watching it as a kid. And I probably prefer this one and Forever over Batman and Batman Returns.
Really?
But I haven't seen those in a while. So I'd have to
Okay.
kind of rewatch them and be like,
the
okay.
return to.
But I do remember out of all 4, my favorite is Forever.
Of all the Batman films out, which is your favorite,
Out of all of them?
including animated?
Ooh, that's a good one. I don't know, actually. I'd probably say maybe Batman Begins
Yeah, eh?
is probably my favorite out of all of them. But again, I'd have to what I'd have to do is do this crazy Batman marathon of all the live actions. In terms of cartoons, I mean, probably the Dark Knight Returns. Is
Yeah,
probably the
you have
best
to go with
out
that
of
one,
the-
eh?
It's probably the best one out of the animated version.
It's
ones.
true. I'd have to go with that one.
Yeah, but in terms of the best as a whole, I prefer live action.
Yeah.
I don't know. Batman Forever is pretty good for me. I
Yeah,
enjoy
eh?
that one. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big Val Kilmer fan, but I still
I actually like Val Kilmer.
I still enjoy. Again, you can't go wrong with Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey. I don't know. To me, it worked, and even I'd have to rewatch it again. But I remember really, really liking that one.
See, Apple computers are thanked in the
Boom.
credits.
What about you? What's your all-time favorite Batman
Dark
movie?
Knight Returns, the animated, but
Oh,
then
yeah?
the Dark Knight, close second, like the Nolan Dark Knight. I think
Yeah.
it's just a perfect movie. It's just a good film. It's not just a Batman movie. It's a good movie.
I mean, that's why it was nominated, right? That thing
Yeah.
got Academy Awards, or was
Yeah.
nominated for awards. Wasn't it for Best Picture, I think?
I don't know.
Anyway, so that was Batman and Robin. Thanks
Yes,
for watching.
thanks
I
for
guess
listening.
I guess no end credits here. This ain't no MCU.
Nah, no. All right.
That's it, man. Game over, man. Game over.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. And be sure to follow us on Twitter at Lost Commentary, on Instagram at Raiders of the Lost Commentary, and like us on Facebook.
I'll be back.